In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Hello and welcome to a show called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
Well, isn't this weird?
We're back in the zone.
But you can call it its real name,
The boy chamber.
the boy.
We didn't plan ahead of what the real name was.
No,
We're back in the padded
Cell.
romper room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like we've never been away, and in many ways I haven't.
It's only been. Can you believe it's only been 18 months since we were last in this room together?
Just smelling myself now.
I actually can believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. This is whatever.
Tis was. Who remembers Tis was?
No, none of us.
Oh, all
No
right.
one does.
No.
Forget it then.
This was the podcast studio.
Was.
It was Lucy's makeshift home office for a
Yeah.
good while.
Yeah.
For
Now
the pandemic.
we're kind of back again.
Oh no.
Oh, for
Oh,
Nicholas!
so
For
unprofessional.
God's sake,
It turns out it's all good though because I've won something on eBay. So
Oh, that's
that's
great.
that's
Who's
good.
messaging you? Everyone you care about is in this
Yeah.
room.
How dare you?
How dare you? But this has been an office, and it was a very good office.
Yes.
And then the moment you get three boys in it, it suddenly becomes a furnace.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty warm.
I guess
in here.
it's a small room. There's three boys in it. It's got insulated walls for soundproofing,
That's true.
and we bring a lot of energy into the room, don't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah,
We
and
bring
a lot of smell.
and a lot of
A lot of pure smell.
yeah.
I mean,
can
we've
imagine
opened.
there's going to be some sort of hovering musk for a little
The thing is,
while
I feel like
afterwards.
each of us, our musks independently, probably very palatable, very, very nice. on the
I
nose.
don't know.
Our wives probably all think they love the musks independently.
Okay.
But the musk cocktail that we've
Yeah.
generated, that's no one likes that.
It's like when Lynx brought out that aerosol that you could combine with other aerosols to make a different smell.
I mean, you could do that anyway.
You could do that anyway, but they were saying to do it officially.
Oh, cool. Okay.
They did that. They did. Oh, why not
cocktails.
spray yourself with one kind of Lynx and then another kind of Lynx,
So-
and it'll make a completely new kind of Lynx.
Hang on, this is genius because it means you buy more than one
Yeah.
kind of links at
Well,
a time.
funnily enough, it wasn't that successful.
Weird.
Yeah.
But okay.
I like it. I'm into it.
Surely
There was the Lynx that was a chocolate.
Yeah, I remember that
scent
one
as well.
Yeah.
Right. But surely, my knowledge
Short-lived.
of Lynx is kind of like began and ended with secondary school. Like, is it
I'm
not
more
like,
of a right guard man.
you had like
these
Lynx Africa?
Yes.
days. Java, Voodoo.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh, you remember? Oh, Atlantis.
I just know that from Partridge.
It was Atlantis, I believe.
They're all kind of like culturally a bit
Yeah.
weird, aren't
Questionable.
they? Yeah, like.
Is that
Well,
okay?
for our overseas listeners, I believe it's called Axe,
Mm.
and it's referenced in the Avengers movie.
Is
Is it?
One of them. When
Thor says, "Where's my axe?"
Thor
and
says,
I don't
"Where's
mean,
my axe?"
I don't mean Stormbreaker.
He put his hand out and a can of
Peter
links just comes
Dinklage
into
goes, "Who needs the axe?" and then someone just comes out and sprays Thor. Yeah. No, it's when it's when
it's in my mouth.
yeah, it's when Ant-Man is crawling around on Tony Stark,
Oh, he does. He says,
and he goes, "Is that Axe body spray?"
"Yeah, it's kind of putting
Wait,
him on blast."
in which Avengers? movie?
The end game.
Well, you should have said
Yeah,
when you
I'm
were like,
saying.
"Oh, it's in Avengers."
Oh well, I didn't know how specific.
It was
I
like
needed to be.
2012. It was a different era.
Well,
Wait,
that yeah,
Ant-Man's inside Iron Man's armor in Civil War, isn't he?
yes, but then in Endgame, he goes and gives him a heart attack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Good
There you go.
knowledge.
There it
Good
is.
knowledge.
Sorry, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Oh
yeah,
no.
they go back in time and save the world. Imagine revealing that a few years ago to a Marvel fan.
If
Well-
I went back in time, I would go back in time and then tell a Marvel fan that they go back in time in the movie. How crazy is that?
I remember sitting in a youth hostel in Calgary.
Oh,
In
where's that?
It's in Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, it's
You've been
funny.
to
I didn't know
Yeah.
you'd been to
Well,
Canada.
I didn't want to bring it up.
No, fair.
But I remember having my laptop out and watching the Iron Man trailer
Oh,
on a
Iron,
loop
good old Iron Man.
in early 2008 and thinking it's never going to get better than this.
Yeah.
And then a portal opened.
And I stepped through and I said, "Hello,
Punched
I'm
me
Nick.
in the face.
You don't know who I am." And I punched you in the back of the head.
And you're like, and tomorrow you're going to swallow a cocktail stick. It's going to be really unpleasant, but you're going to do it. All right, all right, all
And
right.
just someone screaming in your face, "The Avengers go back in time and save the world!"
All right.
And they just left, and you're like, Don't know what that means.
No.
Could mean anything at this stage in 2012.
It's true.
You know what's really annoying?
Go on.
Is that we're finally back in this beautiful room.
Yes.
The audio quality is amazing. I can taste the audio. No, wait,
Yeah.
that's for smell.
Yeah.
I can see the audio. That's also for
I can
smell.
see my words
But
emanating from
the
my
audio quality,
flapping hole beneath my nose.
Will you please shut up?
No.
The audio quality is amazing, but we had to open a window so we don't die.
Do
And-
you think this will come across in the final edit?
What,
This
the
audio-
outside
this-
noises?
No, the audio quality, which we're enjoying.
I can only hope.
Okay.
I mean, I don't listen to the show.
Yeah, I
so-
don't know. I'll
No.
never have any idea.
No,
Unless,
I mean,
unless I ask Liz. Liz listens.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
That
Is
is nice.
that because you're now married?
Yeah, it's more of a pity listen, I think.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Good for the numbers.
The it is
It doubles that number.
it is nice.
Maybe less.
I feel the problem is that because the audio quality is so good in this room, we're going to be hearing like every follicle growing on the
Well, I'm
hair of
worried that
my
when I leave
neighbour.
this room, I won't be able to hear anything ever again. Because the audio quality is so good.
Yeah, it'll ruin audio.
It'll ruin sounds for me
and
beyond this.
probably also smells.
Oh, it'll definitely ruin smells.
Well, it depends if you define this as the ultimate smell.
The triple musk.
Yeah, the old triple musk.
The deep musk. And of course, tomorrow is a very special day.
Oh, it's Friday.
I suppose it is.
It's Andrew Garfield's birthday.
It's Andrew Garfield's birthday.
From Spider-Man No Way Home. Oh, shit.
Oh, it's another spoiler.
Oh, God.
And little did I know I was so lucky to share a birthday and a kidney
Yeah.
with Andrew Garfield.
How honoured are you?
Did you give him a kidney or did he give you a kidney?
We'll
I
leave
didn't
that
want
up to
it.
the listeners.
Just
Mailed
help
it to you.
Yeah, forced it into my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take it. No, it's John's birthday tomorrow for anyone who
Thank
can
you.
read between the
Well,
lines.
the only reason
Yeah.
I bring it in is that tomorrow I will be 35, and
Jesus
it's
Christ.
nice
All the
that,
best.
nice that I am celebrating my final night as a 34-year-old, being both tired and angry.
And smelly, I guess.
And smelly, yeah.
And slightly drunk.
Not yet, but
We'll
give it
get-
time.
yeah, give it time. We got some beers in
Yeah,
here.
yeah, no, it'll be fine.
We
We'll see.
we
We'll see.
usually
They're
do.
the only thing keeping the ambient temperature
Yeah.
at like a workable level.
And
Yeah.
annoyingly, we're drinking it, so it's going down.
Yeah,
It's
that's
only
the
going to get
It's
hotter.
only going to get worse. But no, I mean, I was going to say this feels like the first time we've all gathered since the wedding. But we, of course,
no,
we did it online.
We didn't.
And,
But
Yeah.
so it is.
yes,
But it's not
First
the
time we've all been in the same room.
But it's not the first show
no.
since the wedding.
No, it's not. So we have had a small debrief.
yes,
Yes,
indeed.
the wedding's been very successful. I am still married.
That's great. It's holding.
It's holding for now, yeah.
Still wearing
Taking
the-
it a day at a time. Still wearing the ring.
Still wearing the ring. That's good. Yeah.
Still wearing the ring. It helps me to defeat enemies.
That's true. That's one of the best things about them.
Yeah. Right between the eyes.
You've started a new job.
I have.
We
Started a
don't
new job.
have to mention the employer or anything
No.
like that. But
Well, it's a direct rival of John's employer.
Brilliant. So nemesis.
Yeah. Technically, now we are against one another in all forms, not just personally, but professionally now.
Yeah, you've really upped it.
You see, I was surprised when I heard there was a new pig shaving enterprise opening in town because
You speak that way about my employer again.
I really thought that kind of swine shoot had kind of cornered the market,
Yeah.
but there we go.
The thing is, I always thought there wasn't a big market for pig wool,
Yeah.
but it turns out apparently.
Well,
there is.
the thing is, you really got to wax that pig, and you got to do it with the kind of wax that you can then acquire the hair afterwards.
That's the thing. You got.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
I mean, if you come to Ray's Waxing (brackets pig) Limited, then you'll find out more.
There was already a raise waxing.
Yeah,
it was-
you had to
you
specify.
had to put the pig in. Yeah.
It's a bad name for a company, but you went with it. You
No,
went with
it's good for SEO.
Yeah,
because
I suppose
it
it is,
says
'cause it's all
exactly
in
what
there.
it does.
It's all
yeah.
in there, yeah.
Ironically, you have to put the pig in is also the tagline. Of
Yeah,
your
yeah, you have to put the pig in.
Ray waxing parentheses.
There's also an
pig.
instructional video about why you should put the pig in.
I feel like that could be a good tagline for Porkbox, just to do a little callback, which I
Yeah.
don't think we do enough by
No, no.
You
It's,
have to.
it's almost like we completely forget what we've said
Yes,
after the event.
It's precisely like that. Yeah. But you have to put a bit of pig in.
You got to put a pig.
Yeah.
in.
Is-
you gotta
is-
put the pig in.
Is good. I
Yeah.
like that a lot.
Otherwise, it's just a box, and that's
Just
not.
a box.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The I was listening to a completely different podcast, and I won't name them.
What are you doing?
But
Unbelievable.
they were mentioning one.
Oh,
of,
there are other podcasts.
there's only a few.
There's
okay.
a couple,
okay.
yeah.
They're really. It's like podcasts are very much like the pig shaving of the auditory world. You know,
Sure.
you think there's
It's a
only
flood-
one.
It's a flooded
Yeah.
marketplace.
But a guy was going on about his love of British Dragon's Den.
Oh,
yeah.
He's not British, and he said he'd
I
just been
see.
watching it hours and hours on loop. 'Cause
Isn't there an American version where they're called something
Shark
else?
Tank.
Shark Tank?
Yeah.
And do you know what it's called in Japan?
No.
Um,
Godzilla Chamber.
yeah, lizards rock.
Oh no.
Lion's Cave.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. I mean, these are all quite good.
They're all got good
Bears
names.
Gone.
Yeah.
But the observation he made, which I thought was very funny, was that in the original series of British Dragon's Den,
Guinea Pig's Hutch.
which
Sorry.
I think you've watched. You've watched.
I've watched
a fair
Dragon's
amount of-
Den, yeah.
Don't they have? Because it's upstairs in like a warehouse.
Well, they have a
going-
lift now.
They have a lift.
Fucking.
There
That's
used
the
to
thing.
be stairs
Stairs.
up to the top.
Stairs only.
And then they obviously got, pretty big and
blasted.
were able to afford a lift.
Well, that's the thing. I'm just stealing the joke off another podcast now because the point he made was that in the first 2 seasons, the show was nothing but middle-aged people
Yeah.
having to walk upstairs and then come into their pitch and they're like, hello, dragons.
That's exactly what it was like. That's probably why they had to
And
do
they're
it,
already
I bet.
nervous anyway.
I love the idea that they didn't have enough money in the early seasons to get an elevator, despite the fact their entire cast
Yeah,
was millionaires.
absolutely.
I like that. That's a
Yeah.
nice
Peter
little
Jones
touch.
is also, I think, a executive producer on the show.
I met him
Ah.
once.
Did you?
Peter Jones, yeah.
How was he?
Did he accept
Was he
you for your
tall? He
law?
looks very tall.
He's very tall.
Is he?
Yeah, very, very, very tall man, very large man.
How did what was this?
When I used to
business or pleasure?
work, it was technically business. When I used to work at a private school,
Oh,
his daughter was at the private school that I worked at.
was she tall?
She wasn't
Oh,
actually.
that's disappointing.
Kind of unexcitingly high.
Was she always closing deals?
Oh, ABC. You always be closing.
Always.
There's remember The Apprentice?
Yeah, sadly.
I remember it in that it's a current program. Yes,
Still going strong.
Well, the
Yeah.
British Apprentice. With
I remember it in that it is a current program.
Well, my
Alan
point, yeah,
Sugar.
I'm just for our international listeners. So we
Okay.
had Alan.
Well,
Sugar,
it's a lot like the American version, but with a different.
except
different
Alan,
man.
except Alan Sugar hasn't tried to overthrow democracy yet.
Not yet.
yeah, he's
yet.
working on it. Bless him.
He did switch allegiances to the Conservatives
course he
from
did.
Labour.
Yeah, it's funny that.
I'm amazed he was Labour at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually news to me.
Yeah.
But he was Lord Sugar for a while.
I think that's why he lost it.
But he became
He was Sir Alan at the start.
Yeah.
Now
of
he's
the
Duke
Apprentice.
Sugar.
Now he's still yeah.
Kick-ass Duke.
Duke Caramel. He's evolved. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Then
went under the boil.
but he still goes by Lord Sugar, even though I don't think he's a lord anymore because
Oh, I see.
he switched parties. I think.
Can
I
they
might
take
just
it
do
away?
that then.
I didn't think they could take
I
it
think
away.
he can relinquish it because he changed allegiances. I think.
Right. Really?
That could be completely wrong.
Okay.
So
But I think that's what happened.
but isn't it like a sir, like a knight, is technically less important than a lord?
Yes. That's
So
right,
like,
yeah.
so he was Sir Alan.
Yeah, because I don't think you get any powers as a knight.
No.
It's an honorary title.
Yeah,
But as a lord, you're like
and like you can eat as many horses a year.
Yeah,
as
that's
you,
true.
As you're comfortable.
and you can fight the swans, which no one else is allowed to do because the queen owns them all.
no one's ever won.
Well, also,
that's-
why
yeah,
would you
I,
fight?
That's
I
part of the
wouldn't
problem.
want to fight a swan
No.
if I could help it.
Yeah.
But it's weird, isn't it? Because the naming convention was like it's Sir Alan,
Mm.
but then Lord Sugar.
Lord Sugar.
Oh.
You don't say Sir Sugar
Or Lord
or
Alan.
Lord Alan.
or Lord Alan.
Lord Alan,
No.
I would say.
Yeah, I would prefer that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one from The Apprentice, a contestant, has ever made that mistake.
So
They
does
probably
that-
retake it, I'd imagine.
Is that always the naming convention? If you're a Sir, it's your first name.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I would be Sir Nick. I wouldn't be Sir Angel.
No.
I've given too much away.
Yeah.
No. And I can't.
Because Karen Brady is a
I can't remember what the-
baroness,
Baroness.
Okay.
but no one calls her that.
Is a dame.
But that might be personal choice.
I mean, she has a tall ship.
Lucy's really good at this sort of thing. But
Dame
she's
is
not
the
here.
equivalent
She's
of
not on this
Sir.
podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Like a dame is the
Oh,
female equivalent
sure.
of a knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A baroness is obviously the female equivalent of a baron, but I don't quite know how one would go about acquiring that title.
Does a dame still get a full suit of armor and a joust?
Should do.
Mm.
Cool.
But the reason I bring it up is there was a chap on one series of The British Apprentice.
Yes.
Who-
The Apprentice in Britain.
It was a series where, or as we call it, The Apprentice.
The Apprentice.
As we call it. Oh, is she apprentice?
as we call it, fucking idiots try to do business.
But there was a series where, because it was always like, who's the best business person? And they just fight to the end.
Who is best business?
But then they tried to mix it up, and they did a season where you didn't just have to win the competition. So the 99.9% of the show was like the regular Apprentice, where you're all just backstabbing and competing, and who can sell as many oranges at a market, you know.
Yeah.
But then in the final episode, it was
That'll
like
teach you business.
we've narrowed it down to 2 people, but the gimmick was you had to then pitch a business idea.
They still do that.
So they do that
What,
now.
to the
do
other
they?
one?
No, to Sir Alan.
Oh,
Or to Lord
okay.
Sugar.
Lord Sugar.
Yeah.
Lord Sugar.
It'd be great if they pitched it to the other one.
No, so
Yeah.
they changed it somewhere along the line. So it used to be they got a job, And
yes, that's right. Yeah, I
Sir
remember that.
Sugar would say,
Lord Allen.
"Oh, here's where I think you'd fit into my business, and therefore you win."
Yeah.
But after a while, he probably ran out of vacancies.
Probably ran out of vacancies. I think people were a bit shit
Right.
who
Yeah.
won The Apprentice, from what I gather.
Because it's almost like winning a reality show is not a metric for being good
Well,
at
funny
your
that,
job.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So eventually, and because the economy is bad,
Sure.
probably, he just started. Oh well, instead, I'm going to give you a £250,000 investment
Yeah.
in your business.
Right.
So it changed the show because
So-
one guy won it after that, who looked a bit like John.
I was gonna. Well, hang
A
on.
little
now.
bit.
Hang on now.
A little
Hang
bit.
on now. If we're thinking about the same guy, which is about the anecdote I was going to bring up.
Oh, all right, you start then.
Okay. Well, I
And
don't like. I don't like where this is going.
He,
Well,
does look a.
What's
little bit.
important,
It
listeners,
doesn't look
is that
anything-
you picture John while
It
he
doesn't
tells
look
this
anything
anecdote.
like-
Just picture
Okay.
John.
If we're thinking about the same person,
I think people should look him up and decide for
Okay.
themselves.
Well, the point is, so the show. This is where the format didn't quite work, and maybe they refined it in later things. But the show was kind of like a popularity contest or reality show backstabbing.
As is
Who's
always
best
the
at
way.
business?
Yeah.
Some people get screwed over, but you make it to the end.
And
the
everyone comes out alive, most importantly.
Kind of, yeah. But the final two contestants, they had this lady who was consistently brilliant
Yeah.
across everything she did,
Right.
and this other guy who was pretty useless
Brilliant.
at kind of
Brilliant.
everything,
Brilliant.
but had just survived by not being the worst.
Right. Okay.
Well,
So-
no, I think now, in hindsight, he had survived because they knew what his idea was.
But
because
he
he
wa-
made good telly.
Well, because he was an inventor essentially.
Well,
I'm
this
on
guy.
fucking tenterhooks here because I don't know anything about this.
But this is the problem because it's like the competition. The show was about who can win the TV show The Apprentice.
Yeah.
And by the rules of the TV show The Apprentice, this one lady whose name I can't remember was undoubtedly brilliant.
She was easily the best
in
at
any other
business.
season she would have won. But then at the last minute they go, actually now
You have to pitch. an
pitch
idea.
this, and her idea was awful.
Oh.
She was a brilliant business person,
Shoes for dogs.
but the idea was awful.
Right.
And then this other guy, he was a bit of a Burke. And we're like, "What's your idea?" And he's like, "Oh, it's like a super. Like, I'll come and make your
It was.
chairs
I actually
ergonomic."
remember what it was. It was a curved nail file.
No, that wasn't it.
Was this a different one?
That's the thing he'd already made.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So then,
But it was It was in that sort of realm of.
no,
products.
he was making
Ergonomic
he was making your chairs ergonomic in an office.
Oh,
That was
So
his,
was that what
he'd
it?
come
Yeah.
in
Oh,
and
okay.
he'd put a lump of plasticine on the back of your chair.
yeah.
Right.
And then you looked at like Viscount Molasses or whatever his name was, and he was like, and he just always like look on his face where he's just like, these are both a bit shit actually, but he was
Yeah.
like, but your idea, competent woman, is actually a really bad idea.
Yeah.
And this other guy's is a workable idea.
Ah, so we had to pick the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, the previous year she would have easily won
Any
the
other
show.
year
That's
she
right.
would have won. But the point is, the reason I bring it up is when I worked at a private school,
Oh, we're back there. I
Yeah.
knew it was coming.
This
back
is
to
a big
something.
loop around.
his uncle was a teacher.
Whose uncle?
Oh
the guy
my
who
God.
ultimately won. Pellerin.
Jesus Christ, that was a long anecdote
Yeah.
for something that didn't
But
matter.
the fact is, like, but he invented quote unquote
Yeah.
a curved nail file.
Yes,
That was his big thing, and he's like, I'm an inventor.
but he's
That
actually.
was how he got on The Apprentice. Off the back of that.
yeah. Well,
I think it probably helped. Yeah,
but
but he's been quite successful. That guy.
yeah.
I think he still works with
files.
Lord Syrup or whatever.
Duke's cream egg.
Yeah. So yeah.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah.
the only episode of The Apprentice I ever watched it was quite appropriate for me because their challenge was to design a hot new toy for kids. And I was like, I'd be good at this challenge.
Yeah.
And I remember one team came up with Swap Belt. And,
Okay.
and the concept
Belt.
was a belt that you wore and it was covered in Velcro. And then you had these little collectible toys that had Velcro on them. And you'd like swap them with your mates and stick them onto your belt. And it was called Swap Belt.
Yeah.
And they had to do a little ad for it. And the guy who was leading the team did the voiceover for the ad.
Oh,
and
yeah.
his sort of like audio sting at the end of the ad was Swap Belt. And that's all I can remember from The Apprentice.
I remember an episode where, and this is where I realised this show is not for me because I just wanted to crawl up inside my skin and die. Was they had to do an advert for like pet food or something like that. They had to
They've done a lot of
Yeah.
crazy shit.
But
over the years.
they were like, we're okay. So pitch an advert, and they're like, oh, it's a cartoon cat, and you know she's loving the food, and she's a fancy cat. She's very extravagant.
Sure.
So they get this voice actor in,
Oh no.
and this is where I'm like, this is horrendous. I'm dying, and this guy's clearly like a jobbing voice actor, and they're like, click. Yeah, that's really good. Could you make the cat a bit more flamboyant? You know, and what's the line? Yeah, the line is like, I love like It's perfect food or something like that.
Very good.
Good. That's
And
excellent.
it's just like all these Burks in suits, kind of who have never directed voice
Yeah.
actors before. And this guy's like, just pay me for God's sake. He's
Just
like,
let me die.
oh, it's a perfect meal.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but it's
Can
not
it
bad.
Be,
Go a bit more.
could be 1,000% sexier.
Yeah. This is yeah.
That's my only note.
Yeah.
It was perfect, except for it could be 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could the cat really just make you kind of question a few things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I want to send me by the time we finish recording from this cat.
okay, that says decadent. It doesn't say raging chub. You know.
Doesn't say stack of 2p coins, does it? So,
No. Fun times.
Good.
Okay,
Who's
Now-
got hate?
Oh, go on.
I've got hate.
Go on.
Nick's got hate.
So I've brought things to this show. Such as
What's that?
All right.
gifts, shall we say?
Where are they? Are you sitting on them?
Well, hopefully not in the case of crinklers, because if I was sitting on that, you'd know. You'd hear that crinkly
yeah.
sound.
That's a callback as well.
That is
That's another callback.
Episode
Two.
2. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, there's been
Um,
89 episodes since then.
Other social media things I've brought, such as ghost hunting on TikTok. That's another thing I've brought to you.
Yes,
as a
indeed.
gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got another one in this ilk.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
There's a new trend. It's very hot right now,
No,
and
yeah.
I'm down with the trends because I'm on TikTok. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm up
I
to.
love- I love
But
that
actually, to
platform.
be fair, this trend hadn't appeared on my TikTok, which means I'm not actually as up to date as I'd like to think. But there is something going on TikTok at the moment called shifting,
Oh, God.
Okay.
and I don't know if you've heard about this.
No.
So
Talk to your children about shifting.
this is exclusively maybe 16 to 20-year-olds.
Okay.
Right.
That's a very niche window, isn't it?
Yeah, although I have seen some older people, because I did a deep dive research into this, because this didn't show up on my TikTok, as I said. A creator who I follow on YouTube is very funny, and is more like us kind of people, and thought that shifting was very weird, did a thing on it, and I was like, I've got to find out more about this. Essentially, it's it's a group of people, it's a whole community of people who believe that they can, through meditation, move to another reality in their minds, right? And they can then live in this reality, essentially while they're asleep, for extended periods of time, and then they can return to this reality
So they,
with stories of what they've been doing, what they've been
Stories of wonder.
up to. Yeah, incredible things. Yes.
I believe I know what that's called.
Tell me.
It's called dreaming. It's called going to sleep and having a dream.
Well, I have a better word for it. I think it's lying. I think they're just lying. Okay, because weirdly, almost exclusively, I googled. No, I didn't Google. I searched the hashtag shifting on TikTok, and I found a load of shifting videos because they always hashtag it.
But what?
99% of them go to Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Oh, here we
The
go.
thing is,
Yeah,
There it is.
there it is.
the
There
thing
it
is,
is.
if I wanted to go to Hogwarts,
Yeah,
I would just like read the book or watch the film, sort of thing. I wouldn't watch a video of someone describing it to me because, as I say, I just read the fucking book.
you can. Read
Surely that's better.
that's the beauty of escapism, isn't it?
Surely that's better than someone telling me what they envisaged it to be.
It is the cringiest, honestly. Like, the first video I saw was a guy with tears streaming down his face.
God.
Right.
I touched Hagrid.
And it was worse than I ever
He's
imagined.
covered in scabs.
The smell of liquid. The books never tell you about the smell. He sat there and tears are streaming down his face. He's red in the face as though he's genuinely been crying, although I don't believe it's real tears, of course.
No.
And the caption above just says, I just came back from having shifted to Hogwarts for 5 months, and I'm devastated to be back in this reality. And the video is just that caption sitting over his head, and he's just there crying while sad music plays for 30 seconds. That's his TikTok. He wants us to believe that he closed his eyes for half an hour or whatever it is, and he was in Hogwarts for 5 months, and now he's sad because he's been brought back screaming to this reality.
I mean,
No, you're a very down to earth kind of guy, Chris Ray.
what does that mean?
What did you?
That's a compliment.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on
I don't
this?
know. I genuinely can't wrap my head around that quite yet. I mean, it's
Well, if
just,
you have any
it's
questions,
just,
I've watched a lot of videos.
it's just.
Hey, what's great is
Skullduggery.
There's a car alarm going.
There's a
off.
car alarm. I'm glad the window's open.
As
Yeah, it's
predicted,
amazing,
something
yeah.
would happen.
Well,
This
that's fine.
is all
That's-
folly of the real world.
This is part of our shifting, isn't it?
It might be.
Yeah.
We're at the tire fire yard, and it's stopped.
What if we've
So
been
now I'm back
shifting...
in this reality. Oh, I'm gutted. Oh, it was in that car yard for 5
Yeah.
months, and now I'm devastated to be back.
Devastatio.
Imagine not only me saying that out loud, to nobody or anybody.
No one wants
But
you to.
recording myself doing it and putting it on the internet.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Imagine the amount of thought process that's gone into that I'm not embarrassed to do that.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, everyone will be like, oh, isn't it funny what the young are doing? And every generation never really understands what people 10 years younger than
Where
you
does
are
it
doing.
end? Where does it end?
Yeah,
though?
yeah,
If
but-
this is acceptable now,
Yeah, but this is not...
in 10 years, everyone's going to be like, "I remember when shifting was a thing. That was like a simpler time, wasn't it? Shifting."
That when shifting
now-
is a simpler time, will
Now
be
people
fucked.
just cut their fucking feet off and hold them above their heads, and that's acceptable. Man. That's where we are in 10 years. If we carry on down this rabbit hole,
That's where we're going.
Heed my words. But no, you're right though, because it's not like, oh, I don't get what the young are doing. It like, you know, oh, you young people.
this isn't
with
anything
your...
to do with the young.
No, bullshit is bullshit. I'm
This
sorry.
is nothing to do with the young.
And this isn't like, oh,
It's
look,
It's unfair to blame the young for this amount
Yes,
of bollocks.
It's a lie.
This is-
Every single one of these people, and I'm not afraid to say it, because apparently people who've come out and dissed shifting have had a lot of hate. So get ready, guys, because this might happen to
Oh,
our
I
show.
can take it.
But
it's all right. I'll put up my psychic armor.
yeah,
Me. Oh, I'm fine. Yeah.
like every single one of these people who has said that they have escaped to Hogwarts and hung out with Draco Malfoy and Crabbe and Goyle for fucking 6
I mean,
weeks.
I'll just on a side note.
Oh, sure.
They're not people I'm afraid of.
True.
Yeah.
True. Although they may represent greater ratings than we've ever had, and when they
Oh,
come on
indeed.
to hate
Yeah.
our show, which would
That's they've listened to it by then, so it's too
be good.
late.
Exactly. We got their numbers.
We got
Well,
we got
haven't.
we got the figures. We got the good algorithm.
Yeah.
So
What I
cheers.
want to say is, if you are going to shift,
Oh yeah.
where are you going to shift to?
Shift.
Oh,
Well, you
God.
got well, first and foremost, you gotta practice safe shifting.
Oh, believe me, there are videos about this. There
Oh,
are videos,
see,
and I believe the
you
hashtag
can't-
No,
safe
you
shifting-
can't be facetious about
You
anything
can't even make a
anymore.
joke
I know,
because
It
sorry,
might
yeah.
have happened.
I was gonna say like, are we post irony? But post irony would be an improvement. This is
We are neck deep in irony.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I'd love some irony right now. Like, irony would help.
So
This is-
what would be unsafe shifting? Let's play along.
Well,
while driving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
do not
while
shift.
driving.
Don't shift and drive.
There's loads of stuff because basically it's meditational, but there's loads of different routes into shifting, and there's all these methods. Like one of them is called like the Raven method, and I've got to say I didn't go as deep as to read about the different methods.
Let's for a second.
Sure.
Imagine this is real and
Okay.
people can do this.
People are doing this.
fucking Hogwarts.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Would it
they're all
be
going there.
weird?
What, only needs one person. It's like, yeah, I went to Hogwarts. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I did this stuff. All right, nice one. I'm gonna try something else.
Yeah, I'm gonna go somewhere different.
But it'd be weird if like we're the assholes and like a younger generation has actually achieved some higher frame of consciousness.
And they're doing
the
that.
only place they can go is Hogwarts.
Yeah.
And it does seem to be, though, exclusively. Like, every TikTok I watched was, I was hanging out with Harry and Hermione on the train on the way to Hogwarts, or I was chatting to Draco Malfoy in the Slytherin common room. It's all the same. It's
Yeah.
all the same. And it's sickening.
Yeah.
I hate it.
But isn't it like? But again, a complete side note. But then it's also like all these people going like, "Oh, you know, I went to Hogwarts and I hung out with Draco Malfoy, and he was so dreamy."
Isn't
Little-
Draco
little-
Malfoy a little
Little
wang-
racist.
But quite racist, old Draco Malfoy.
Yeah,
Isn't he
kind
a-
of shit.
He had
Yeah.
like a wizard swastika like hanging like
Yeah.
under his bed. Like I don't know what to
His
make of
dad
that.
literally murdered people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been on ITV recently, the Harry Potter films. I don't mind the films. But I don't want to go
But you don't
there.
want to go there. This is
No,
the thing.
Well, they don't go there. Why are we saying?
If I'm gonna
Yeah, let's
shift-
not. They're not going
No.
there.
If I'm gonna shift, I'm not gonna go to Hogwarts. I don't give a fuck about Hogwarts.
No.
Right? I'm not gonna go there. I think J.K. Rowling's done enough damage.
Yeah.
Than forcing children to go to a fictional shitty
Yeah.
world. Like fuck off. Okay. So no, I'm not going there. But I'm also not gonna go somewhere where I'm in constant danger and peril. Like
Yeah.
let's go to a school that is badly managed, that has kids that murder other kids in it, and that the Dark Lord is rising to kill them all.
Wouldn't you also go to Hogwarts at a time that's not literally written in a book?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wouldn't you go to a different
Yes.
time zone?
This proves
scale?
though how lacking in creative the people who are
Yeah,
claiming
that's
they're
what I'm
shifting
saying, yeah.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, that is no.
Thank you.
Joking aside, that is astonishingly profound. Like I can go.
I thought so.
I can go to Hogwarts, this incredible world of mystery, but only within the time period described by the 7 books.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Harry, and he's winning the Wizarding Cup or something.
But they want to. They want to meet Harry.
love
They
that
want to
one.
sniff Draco's hair. I don't know. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, the fact that they do stuff like that makes me think it's probably bullshit. To be honest.
You're very cynical.
Yeah, you are
you.
quite cynical.
Thank you.
Not a compliment.
It
Oh.
is Like, okay.
No, I can't begin to wrap my head around why you would. Let's assume you can do it. Try that.
Yeah.
Why you would then go to that particular location, and then, as I say, why you would subsequently cry about it and share that crying on the internet.
Yeah, because like, okay, I think this is the thing that's particularly galling. Like, bullying is never right. No one should be bullied. I was bullied because I was the weird ass kid who was like, I like Sonic the Hedgehog, and I don't have the sense to hide it.
I'd bully you now.
Oh, and you do.
Yeah.
And that's cool because you're better than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you
I
deserve
deserve
it.
it.
And I
Yeah,
want
yeah. But like, there's an element of you do learn to not say this kind of thing.
You do.
And now the young people are not only better dressed, better haircuts,
Way more
sexier,
followers.
better looking, and anything more popular than I was as a kid. And yet they can go out on the internet, no less, and say, "Oh, I dream shifted to a magical world where Spyro the Dragon and I don't know, Captain Planet." We go on sexy adventures together.
That's more imaginative than what they do, though.
Interestingly, John, I think you've just given away where you would like to shift to.
Yeah.
Yes,
So fine.
yeah.
That's good.
I
Sharing.
Yeah, and it's like, fuck. Like, I would have had the shit beaten out of me if I
know.
said that in public, let alone posted it to
Yeah.
like 20,000
How is
people.
this? How is this happening?
Yes.
Because this is another thing. Like all of these shifters, they're all TikTok personalities.
Oh, of
to
course
some
they are,
extent.
yeah.
Like whether it's that they have grown to fame because of shifting
Yeah.
or not. But either way, you're right. They're all beautiful. They're all fashionable. They're all sexy. They've all got 10,000
This
followers.
is just it's funny, isn't it? It's funny,
Isn't it
Isn't
funny?
it funny?
Sort of
These
funny.
little trends come around. Like no one knew what a diss track was like 2 years ago. I mean, suddenly everybody was doing diss tracks.
You've got to do a diss
and then
track.
it's like
We haven't done one yet. by the
nobody
way.
knows
we
what
should.
ASMR is. I think suddenly everyone is doing ASMR,
Mm.
and now
I
it's
still
like
don't really know what it is.
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
And now suddenly everyone's like shifting. I think suddenly it's like, guys, this funny thing happened last week. I shifted into the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah.
Like, what's that about?
I mean,
Me and Boromir and Optimus Prime were having a hell of an adventure.
perhaps this speaks to
Born
my
of Optimus Prime.
perhaps it speaks to my lack of imagination. Perhaps it doesn't. But
I don't think it does.
I feel like if I was to shift,
Here we go.
I would just like avoid a trip on the National Express, and I'd like be at my destination.
Yeah, but you'd have to wake up eventually, and you'd be back where you started.
Jesus Christ.
I guess you could. Let's say you wanted to go to London to take in a show.
Yeah.
You could shift to just being in your seat. You could watch the show in its entirety, and then you shift back and you're back in bed.
It's never a one-to-one
Yeah.
time thing. It's
It
not
doesn't
like-
seem to be.
You don't
No.
fall into a coma for 5 months.
Thing is, I
while
think that
you-
would be more worthwhile than going to a fictional school.
Yeah.
I do not understand. Like, it could be a separate hate, the Harry Potter Hogwarts obsession, which I think has actually weirdly developed more recently into a more extreme version than it's ever been.
God.
I get it, right? I get why it's a very popular set of books. I get why it's a very
Yeah.
it's very accessible to people, particularly children. You can imagine which house you'd be in. It's cool to imagine that it's inside our world but secret. I get it. It's very clever. She's
I'd
done
be in the
quite a good
I'd
job.
be in the blue house.
Would you?
I love that. I love that.
At
house.
Ravenclaw, I believe. They're academics. They're smarty pants.
the blue one. Yeah, exactly. I love that house.
Okay.
I could not love a human baby as much as I love the blue house.
The blue house.
I guess I'd be the shit one. What's the other one?
Hufflepuff.
Yeah, the yellow.
Yeah.
The yellow.
I
don't know,
think
look at
I would
me.
be Hufflepuff.
They're like loyal. Isn't that description? Like Gryffindor are brave, Ravenclaw are smart,
Slytherin are cunning.
cunning,
Hufflepuff.
are loyal.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Like to finish my point, I get that they're popular books. What I don't get is why they're getting. It's just been on the rise ever since their birth.
Yeah.
The amount and the obsession and the love for them has just exponentially grown to new generations.
Because
Yeah.
I read them back in the day,
Yeah.
and they're perfectly fine. Like they're perfectly fine little books.
Yeah.
Obviously, J.K. Rowling's gone off the absolute deep end. This has become a raging lunatic. But they're perfectly fine books. But like, if you ask me what fantasy universe would you like to jump into more than anything, I would not go to school.
No.
Like, I don't care if they're teaching you how to cast spells or shoot TIE fighters. I do not want to go to school in Britain in the 90s, which is where those books are set.
Yeah.
It does seem to me that most of the things that happened at Hogwarts within the confines of those books was bad.
Yes.
Most of it.
Like a child dies like every year.
Yeah.
If you look back on
horribly
that,
sometimes.
they are failing their students miserably.
Yeah.
It's
What?
It's meant to be this legendary place with amazing wizards and incredible defenses, and it's just awful.
Ofsted would be all over that, like a rash.
Well, Ofsted don't know it's there.
Off Madge.
Off Madge.
Maybe
yeah.
the magic Ofsted.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So I guess we never answered your question though.
Where do you want to go?
Where would we shift to?
Where would you shift to?
Well, you see, like, because you can go for any period of time. You could be gone for like, I just spent 100 years.
I mean, I guess. Because fuck it, it's all lies. So yeah, whatever you want.
I just spent 100 years in the GI Joe universe, and now I'm back.
I'm G.I. John. Check me
G.I.
out.
John.
You come back and you're convinced you're still G.I. John.
You just come back and you're just like, oh.
Oh, I'm not G.I. John.
But it could be like a blink. Like you could just like close your eyes and then like open
From
them
what I
again.
understand, they're
Yeah.
meditating for like half an hour to an hour or something.
Okay.
I think.
What
That's-
a waste of time.
That is also just called using your imagination, or as Chris Ray said, dreaming.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
literally what it is, it seems to me.
I mean, we've had a word, lucid dreaming. We've had that for a while, that term. The idea that you can control your dreams.
Yeah.
Again, not sure I believe it.
like everyone's had a dream where they're in a fantasy world, like well known, like Harry Potter, for
Yeah.
example.
and
Everyone's
I've
had a dream. like
I've had
that.
a dream where I've had like a modicum of control.
Yeah.
Where like I'm like quite often they're flying ones, and I'm suddenly like, fuck, I can actually go where I want. And then
Yeah.
almost immediately I wake up. I'm like in control for about 15 seconds.
Yeah, but that's
But-
a dream. That's a you can't help that as
No,
such.
that's fine. But I can't decide where I'm going.
No.
You
No.
know, I'm just faced with what I have.
It's weird. Like I don't know what I did to deserve it, but my dreams this week have been a bit more like I don't remember my dreams like ever. Like
right.
I just know I was asleep and I know stuff was going on, and I can't remember them now. But I remember vividly this week I've had wild dreams each night. Like something's going on in my head. at the
Maybe your
moment.
brain's getting ready to shift. Maybe now's your time.
Maybe yeah, I'm awakening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Get on
yeah.
TikTok before it's too late.
I mean, like, I'm torn between. If you'd asked me when I was a little younger, I could say like, oh, I want to shift to the world of Sonic the Hedgehog. I want to hang out with my good friends. What's that fucking owl called?
Great. Longclaw.
Longclaw.
I was going to say
I want to
Raven.
hang out with Longclaw.
I've got
wanna hang out
Ravenclaw
with
on the
Longclaw.
plane.
That's another callback.
The
We're doing
brain.
well today, by the way,
The,
guys.
the blue one.
Yeah, I want to hang out with Longclaw and Big the
I want
cat.
to hang out with Longclaw.
But
And
now
that what's
Now
the
where would you
actor's
go?
name?
Idris Elba.
No. Yeah.
can talk about that
Sonic's friend.
Tail.
Knuckles.
James Marsden.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Do you know what's weird? Do you know how we were like, I think history.
Let's get on to Sonic.
No, shut up. Sorry, right? I think history will prove us right. You know,
I
the
don't
three
know if
the
it
three
will.
people in this room were brave enough to say this movie is awful,
No one else is.
and everyone else is like, actually, this movie's great. Like, what's wrong with you?
Oh, it's not great.
Do you know,
There's a cult,
yeah.
I think. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, okay. Everyone shifted to a universe where that movie actually was not a
we have.
cheap cash grab. And then you know, like James Marsden was in a movie called Hop
No,
about a decade ago,
no, I didn't know this.
which is about a CGI
Oh, here we go.
Easter bunny
Brilliant.
voiced by Russell Brand,
Oh,
who leaves his magical home on like Easter Island
brilliant. Easter Island.
because he wants to be a rock musician,
Right.
comes to like the city
Of course.
where he encounters James Marsden, who is a human man.
I feel like James Marsden is in a lot of. He's in a film called Enchanted.
He is.
Where a lot of
Enchanted is
cartoon-
very good.
Enchanted is good.
Yeah.
But a lot of cartoon characters like interact with the real world and things like that. So
Yeah.
I feel like he was hired based on that experience and of this movie.
But it's like, but
presumably.
again, it's like, and then he moves in with James Marsden, and James Marsden is gooning around
This
with
is
a like
weird,
a
isn't it?
2 foot tall.
What is it about James Marsden that people making these franchises think he's the guy?
Yeah.
Yes,
maybe
put our
he's a
CGI character
shifter.
But my point is, did they just
Yeah.
take? Did they just take the script for Hop and do find and replace?
Well, we said when we broke down and analysed Sonic, we said that was a script that sat on a shelf with insert character name.
I'm absolutely convinced that was the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon
I
first
have no
draft
doubt.
it was a Woody Woodpecker reboot.
It is
Yeah.
absolute filth because of that. Like,
Because
there-
they did a Woody Woodpecker movie, and it's the exact same thing.
nothing about the Sonic movie, and I'm going to say it again, nothing about the Sonic movie is connected to the universe of Sonic at all. It's just shit. It could be find and replace any creature.
Yes.
We've said it before.
Yes.
I'm doubling down on it hard.
Yeah.
I never
Here we go.
realised that Knuckles had such a deep voice.
No.
No.
Like that one, yeah.
Well, now
No, I never.
I don't think I've ever heard Knuckles speak.
No, exactly. I never in my brain imagined Knuckles would sound like Idris Elba.
Idris Elba, yeah.
I think
Like, or anything like
Which
that.
is interesting because they hired, because we saw him at the end of the movie, they hired a guy or a lady who
play
sounds like
Tails.
Tails.
That
who can
sounded
do the
right,
voice
though.
of Tails.
That
yeah.
sounded right.
That sounded
Yeah,
correct.
so clearly I've heard Tails talk and I'm familiar
There
with
were
what that
there were
is.
90s cartoons where they spoke.
guess.
And that's probably why I associate those voices.
Hi,
Yes.
Sonic!
Yeah.
I'm Tails!
But they've not
Knuckles
gone...
was
Fuck
never.
you, Sonic.
Yeah, it's like he's in the room.
You keep leaving me to die!
Knuckles was never in those cartoons. Therefore,
No.
I've never heard
true.
him speak.
Which was actually weird that he wasn't in the
No,
cartoons.
yeah,
I am
probably.
conflicted because I like Knuckles. The
I love
character,
Knuckles. I used to,
Everybody loves
I used to love
Knuckles.
Knuckles,
Yeah.
probably because he never spoke.
And I like Idris Elba, the actor.
Yes, Idris Elba would never sign up to a bad franchise.
Not as far as I know. He was in Shaw and Hobbs.
He was also in that.
Yes, he was. He played a super soldier.
Yeah, he played a super soldier in the Fast and Furious universe, which was weird.
We are way off the
He
reservation.
played a
by
man
the
with
way,
Yeah.
super strength in a movie about cars.
where cars are superpowers.
We better move on.
We probably should. I feel like we said enough about shifters.
Yeah,
Shifters.
I'll do a hate. If
Can
you
I get
want.
mine out of the way?
Go on, you do it.
Oh, is it bothering you?
Yeah, because I was gonna do like, a fun comedy hate. Let's just bring it to the show.
Uh-oh.
But we've talked about it off air, and I just want to bring it up on air. I hate when
Oh,
people
God.
move the goalposts.
I see where this is going.
Because
Rant time.
yeah, rant. No, it's rare that like, let's just do a fun hate. Oh, I hate bumper stickers. You know, that's funny, isn't it? You know,
Bumper stickers are no joke. No, they
I've
are.
got that as
They're
bumper
no-
sticker,
Yeah,
actually.
that's about it.
But no.
you're part of the problem.
I am just now and again. I was going to have a proper rant on air, and then things developed in like the 5 minutes before we came on air.
Yes.
And now I don't know what to think, but I don't have anything else to say. So
Great.
I've
Well,
just got
we've
this,
already
yeah.
had a fairly lengthy conversation
Yeah.
about this, but we can go over it again.
Why don't you summarise the sitch?
Okay, look, I'm annoyed.
John.
And I was,
Hi, I'm John, and
and
I'm annoyed.
Yesterday, I was like,
Why don't we start at the beginning?
and I think one of the reasons I'm so tired because I'm knackered.
You are.
Is that literally like yesterday evening? I was like, I'm gonna go to bed, and then in bed I was just like gnashing my teeth, and I was like, I cannot sleep because I'm just legitimately quite angry. So now some of you may be aware that Nick and I.
Hello.
And
I'm not sure we're going to talk a lot in this bit.
Okay,
I think
well,
we're just,
have to
I think we're just listening.
It's my
for it.
birthday tomorrow, so just sit
Oh, here
down
we
and
go.
take it.
Wow.
Right, shift to a better podcast.
Yeah.
you
I'm on
know.
my way.
I'm gonna shut my eyes and shift.
So
Bim bam.
I just got really angry because we make comics. We do this comic thing.
Oh, yeah.
And comics are shit. Okay. We make comics.
I don't know why we keep making them.
They're awful.
There's
we
no
love
money in
them.
it, kids.
There's no money in comics.
Don't get into comics.
There's no money in comics. Get a proper job. Go on The Apprentice.
Just like my dad told me.
Yeah. Your dad was right.
Oh.
When my parents were like, don't study art at university, do science, get a proper job. And I did it, and I hated them for it. But they were right.
They were always right.
Because comics are shit. And like, yeah, you crack that beer, you're going to need it.
Oh my god.
God, use your weak artist fingers.
This is the problem.
Do it. You should have gone to like muscle school. There we go. Right. Okay.
I'll do mine.
And you as well.
No, I'm
There it
done. I
is.
ripped the thing off, but I didn't make a hole.
Oh, that's a disaster.
My can is faulty.
So literally you have a can and a tiny stream of piss coming out of it.
It's like a pinhole.
Well, you just took the air out of my sails, didn't you? What do we do now?
I guess. Have you got a spike?
No, I don't have a spike.
This
That's
is-
weird,
this
isn't
is-
it? Yeah.
Audio poison.
Okay,
Yeah,
carry on.
Yeah,
John.
it's fine. Okay, we'll sort that out in a minute. But
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but we make comics and it's shit because we put like you put so many years of creativity in, and it's really hard because there's no money, and it's just hours and hours of work, and you keep doing it because you're a lunatic, and
Yes.
the world just keeps kicking your ass, but you keep doing it because
Apparently.
you care about the art, and we've been doing it for like a decade now.
Yeah.
Like
That's too long, isn't it? Really?
yeah, it's too long.
Arguably,
Really. You
yeah.
get less for murder, you know.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So
So like,
on the murder actually, but
well, you know, but like
manslaughter.
manslaughter, yeah, you get less for manslaughter, but like.
Or if someone falls down a
We
well.
we do this thing, and we've been going to a convention called MCM, movies, comics, manga,
Merchandise? No,
something
I don't
like
know.
that. I don't know. Nobody even knows anymore. It's just 3 letters. It's the
Oh, is that what it
biggest.
stands for? I
think so. Nobody
never
knows
realised.
anymore.
I don't know whether it actually stands.
Yeah,
for
now
anything.
it's just for letters.
Yeah.
Like they've dropped the
Yeah.
acronym. Like it's just
Like BP
Yes.
Yes.
And BT.
and BT. Yeah.
Yes.
We spoke about that recently.
I think
I think
we
we
did.
did.
Oh, there's so many callbacks in this episode.
It's a really good one. It's like a greatest
Yeah.
hits.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah,
Carry
it's
on,
like, it's
John,
like we're all
sorry.
going to die tomorrow or something like that. Yeah.
It's your birthday.
I know. What a way to go. But like, but we've been going to a show called MCM. It's the biggest show in the UK. It's actually a franchise. They have a ton of shows. They do 2 in London every year. That's the biggest show in the UK, and I've been told it's like the 5th biggest show in the English-speaking world.
Shit the bed.
something like that.
It's a big show.
They do Birmingham. They
Are there
do
bigger ones in the
Manchester.
non-English speaking world?
There might be. There might
I
be,
think there's some
yeah.
big French ones.
Yeah.
Some big Japanese ones.
Okay.
So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And we make trash. We make entertaining trash. We're not
Yeah.
artistic. We're not
Well,
classy.
Speak for yourself.
Nick's definitely not artistic. like, it's all sound and fury. There's no meaning behind it.
true.
We just make entertaining trash.
We do.
And we do well at MCM.
We do.
And there's not a lot of money going around in comics, but when we go to MCM, we know we do all right.
Yeah.
It's
Our old faithful.
Yeah. Pre-COVID, we were like, twice a year, this is a really good show. We're
Sure.
going to be all right. Anyway, change
I'm
it.
surprised that people spend that much money on stuff they've never heard of.
Oh, you'd be amazed.
Yes.
I bet I would.
Yeah.
I bet I would.
Yeah. And okay, so change in management.
Yeah.
It's been
MCM is now owned by someone else.
it's been bought up by a big company who actually own most of the big conventions in the world now.
Right.
Particularly the US.
And prior to COVID, we had a good year. New management, new ideas. Obviously, it's all very positive. And then they've changed everything.
Oh no.
And of course, because I am now 35, I hate change.
Nobody likes change.
I don't like change.
This is the beginning.
So we're doing away with the comic village.
Right.
This is the place where independent comic creators could have a stand for a relatively small amount of money and benefit from the greater footfall of a massive London
Yes.
show.
I feel like I'm the protagonist in a film and I'm getting a lot of exposition.
Yeah, this is the
at the
expo
moment.
dump at
Yeah.
the beginning of the film.
This
Okay.
is.
But you're going to solve the problem at the end of the film
Oh, you're welcome.
because you're the genius.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the guy who ultimately will be. I'm like Neo.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I'm like.
Or that guy from Good
So-
Will Hunting. Will?
Yes. So the
Matt Damon.
Yes, Matt.
So
Yeah.
the comic village.
Robin Williams. Is in
Be
that.
quiet, you awful man. The comic village has existed for 20 years,
Has it?
and it became
What,
about
permanently?
well as a feature because it came about through a bunch of indie creators made an arrangement with MCM
I see.
Under the table.
under the table
Ah.
where they were like, look, you are big and flashy as a convention. You're all about the substance. You
The
have
Marvels. The
yeah,
DC.
no, sorry, you're all about the style. You've got no substance. You're trashy. We are the creators, so we have all the substance, but we have no style and no money.
Yeah.
So how about you give us a little section of the show,
Just a little.
give us discounted prices because there's no money in comics, and in return you can say we're supporting comics,
Sure.
and it benefits everyone.
It's a
You-
hell of a clever deal that was struck back in the day.
Yes,
Okay.
and it was hard, and people did it. And I
Yeah.
think names like Emma Vicelli, very big in bringing that about. And then it's all changed now. So Comic Village, gone. They quietly got rid of the guy who managed the Comic Village.
Oh.
So he was
He's
good.
been destroyed.
He was a good chap, and now he's
Been taken out back.
and I don't know what's happened to him. But now it's called the Artist Alley.
which is what the Americans call theirs.
Yes.
Ah.
So they're unifying the terminology.
Forgive me.
Yes. Hello.
No.
That for what? That doesn't sound like it's comics related.
I know.
Well,
doesn't it?
It's interesting that, isn't it?
I'm saying that knowing where
Yes.
this story is going, obviously.
well,
but
my point
for
is,
the purposes of the
you would
listener.
think they're just changing the name. Doesn't really mean anything. It's the Comic Village at heart.
Okay. Is it an alley?
Well,
Kind of. It's like a series of aisles.
Many alleys,
Okay.
many
Yeah.
aisles,
All right.
yeah. And then we went through this, and so the application process it looks a little different, but it's basically the same. And there's been some teething problems. There's been some communication
Sure.
issues.
That's
They-
understandable.
yeah,
It's a
they-
big show.
Yeah, they've not been very good at meeting their own deadlines. Like, oh, you'll definitely find out by Monday.
Monday goes.
When are we going to find out? Why aren't you answering anybody's emails? What's happening? Oh, it'll be next Monday.
That's not a
Right.
very good public-facing
It's not
image,
a
is
good
it?
start. No. Anyway, so this is where I just get very salty. We got rejected.
That's outrageous.
Having been going to the show for 10 years.
Yeah, now.
Consecutively.
Now, yes, but
Consecutively.
consecutively, twice a year for like 10 years.
Well,
Maybe,
that's-
maybe we haven't gone to the old one here and there. 'Cause
Sure.
we've had other
but
stuff on.
consistently.
Yeah. So, my point is that it's going to sound awfully entitled. I'm not saying we deserved a place. I'm not saying that.
I am.
Nick is saying that.
Well, I would argue that they should give you a degree of loyalty.
Well, if they turned around and said, look, we understand you've been coming a long time, we have limited spaces, particularly because of COVID, and we want to give some new people a chance, I would have been like, you know what? That sucks, but it's fair.
That's a good
I
reason.
understand that.
Yeah.
But they turned around and they were like, no, you didn't get it
Yeah.
because you're not an artist, are you, dickhead? They were like, no,
There's 4 of you.
there's 4 of you. You are a team of 4 people. That's not an artist.
That's not one eye.
No, we looked at your
No, but then
website.
ostensibly it's a different thing then, isn't it? This artist's alley.
Yes.
And I can't imagine that everyone who has secured a place on this alley is just one person. Surely there's people
Well,
backing them up.
Who knows anymore? Because I got to say, like, I was pretty salty about it. I was pretty like, it's like we didn't get.
You've recovered well.
Well, the alcohol's
hiding it.
helping.
You're
Yeah.
hiding it.
I was
fantastically.
pissed off about it because I was like, because again, spoke to, admittedly, very nice person. I don't want to make it personal. They were very helpful with people I spoke to, but they basically said, you didn't say you're John Locke and you are a creator and you make this thing and your website is johnlocke.com, which is true, it is. You said,
It is true.
I am John Locke applying on behalf of Big Punch Studios.
Yes.
And they were like, well, a studio isn't a person. You're clearly so successful.
surely-
But
surely-
it's semantics. It's pure
Massive
exactly,
semantics,
It's-
yeah.
Surely they would know, or should know, arguably,
Yeah.
that you are basically individuals.
Well,
Yeah.
this was the thing.
working as a small team.
Because we had been going to the show for so long, we had a relationship with the guy who organised the artist alley, as it were, what was the Comics Village, and he knew what we were,
Yeah.
as he knew everyone, because that's the whole point of being that guy, is that you forge a load of connections with the people who you do business with, and he knew what we were. He knew that we were essentially 4 people who didn't make a living off this stuff, had fused together purely because it suited what we were doing,
Yeah.
and we were 4 independent creators.
Yeah, and I think
knew that.
and I think people generally knew. They were like, well, we know that like Afterlife Inc. and Seven String and Catamaran and all these titles are like that's where they live in the
Yeah.
Comic Village under Big Punch Studios, and it's like I don't know, it's just so annoying because they were just like it's the same application we've put in every year.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, it's still the same Comic Village. It's just a lick of paint, a new name.
I prefer Comic Village as a name,
It's quite nice.
brand
I liked
wise.
it. And the annoying thing is, and I'm just thinking about it now, like going forward, it's like if I was there as like Afterlife Inc., my fans, such as they are, not a massive crowd, but like my fans would be like, I want to see Afterlife Inc. But like in future, can I apply as Afterlife Inc. or do I have to be like John Locke,
I have no idea
some
anymore.
dickhead writer that no one cares about, you know? And then they'll be like,
I wouldn't put that on the banner.
no, but then they'll be like, well, who's
Maybe
this?
it would work.
Yeah. I am John Locke,
that's my
some
point.
dickhead.
dickhead
Who
writer no one's heard of.
No, but this is what pisses me off because it's like it goes like, okay, because in the application process you have to go like, what's your name? Okay, what's your Twitter handle? I'm like, okay, I guess they're assessing your popularity online.
Some dickhead.
And then it's like, tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm a
And then
dickhead
it's
writer.
like, yeah, I'm a dickhead writer.
Some dickhead
Some
writer.
prick
no one cares
writer
about.
over it. And they're like, you know, and send us shows you URL. And we used our Big Punch Studios website, where this
Yeah.
podcast is hosted, where all the shit we do is hosted. And they were like, oh yeah, that's a studio, it's not a
Looks a
person.
bit professional, that doesn't it?
It
Yeah.
looks, it does. That's the problem. You look too good.
Yes, maybe. I
But the
don't
thing
know.
is, we've never done what we've done because I want to appear like fucking Amazon. That's never been like the aim. We've only ever just tried to do our best. You know, like make the site look as good as it can.
Yeah.
And they go like, well, nobody you put. Guys, you're clearly not hurting. You're clearly not hurting for money. You guys must be
have
loaded.
bags of
No,
money.
nobody puts the word studio in their title if they're poor. You know?
Well,
The funny thing is, you don't own a studio.
No, it's a word.
it's
Yeah.
studios as well. It suggests
Yeah.
we own more than one.
I know.
More than one commercial property.
we agonised over that S. We put
did.
that
Yeah.
extra
Did we
S
do
in.
one studio or studios?
And that killed us. So now, like in the future, and now I'm thinking about my personal website.
You should just call it Big Punch House.
yeah,
Big Punch Hamlet.
big punch pauper's hut. I don't know.
Big Punch Shed.
It's just so annoying, and it's like, and again,
Big Punch
semantics,
rented garage.
massive semantics, massive splitting hairs. And in any other industry, I probably wouldn't care. But it's like the margins are so tight.
You have no idea.
You have no idea. There is no money in comics. You know,
Yeah.
and these dickheads are like,
There is no money
and the dickheads are like, yeah, well. This is like, why is a guy who owns a studio crying? It's like, it's a word.
Yeah.
It's just a word. I own a word.
Greg, it's 7 letters. For God's sake.
Yeah.
So I'm salty. I'm very salty about it.
Well, I'm sorry about everything, but yeah, I would be.
Well, yeah, and then like minutes before going on air, we found out that like we kind of did
got-
get a table.
We've got half a. Oh, I don't know.
It's baffling. It doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense at all.
Well,
I think they're probably going to backpedal on that as well.
I'm so confused.
The bottom line is they don't know what they're doing. They're clearly like scrabbling around, making mistakes.
Yeah.
And the process is just highlighting that they just don't give a shit
know.
about any of this stuff.
And I wouldn't
any of us.
And it's rare that I'd like put an actual company on blast, but like guys, like seriously, like do you wonder why comic creators are so stressed? It's because there's no money.
Yeah.
And everybody is losing their minds like all the time.
Yeah.
You know. And it's just like, and then you just pull this stuff and people freak out because they don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
You know. And you just realize how vulnerable you are because it's like, you know, if the people controlling the show actually change the rules just a tiny bit, and suddenly you can't get in anymore.
Your
You're like,
livelihood's
well,
gone.
great, that's a massive amount of income just gone.
Yeah.
Thanks a bunch.
Yeah. Well, especially if it's your main 1 or 2 shows a year.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's annoying.
I bet.
So I was going to do a comedy complaint.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I'm actually just annoyed. I'm just legitimately annoyed.
Presumably there is an audience who will listen to this and think, yeah.
The awesome listening. The awesome
I'm
power.
I'm well outside the demographic here.
No, but again, if we can get the common man annoyed,
Yeah. Well, you can get me annoyed. It's
easy
not,
to
it's
get
not,
you
it's not that hard.
you're not that common either.
Just starting
No.
to do this show gets you annoyed, really.
Yeah, I come here angry, to be honest. I walk in the room angry.
So please change the subject and give us a comedy hate.
Well, it's not.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Oh no.
it's
We
not-
should have ended with shifters.
Yeah, it probably should have. It's not all that different to yours, but it is slightly more funny.
Oh, okay.
My hate is that people have forgotten how to do fucking anything over the last 18 months. Every commercial business has forgotten, like large scale commercial business, has forgotten how to do anything.
Okay.
They've forgotten how to do to provide the service that they offer.
For one service.
The one service they
Yeah.
offer in most cases. I'm specifically talking
specialty.
about transport.
Okay.
In this instance, I've used public transport a number of times over the years, predominantly National Express and trains to get to football and things like that, and travel across the country for whatever I may be doing and wherever I may be drinking, usually.
Usually.
I've had shockers, sure.
Yeah.
I've had a bus I've missed, or my bus has been a bit late. These things happen.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
shame,
yeah.
and I go after some sweet compo, but
You gotta.
but it happens, and
Yeah.
that's fine. In the last 2 weeks, I've booked my first 2 big trips. Both of them have gone completely wrong, and I've never had that once before. But for it to happen twice in 2 weeks makes me think it can't be accidental.
Okay.
So I was supposed to be going to a stag do in Liverpool. This is the first one. So my route to Liverpool was to get a bus to Birmingham and a bus from Birmingham to Liverpool. So I changed to Birmingham.
Sounds easy.
Okay.
Sounds easy. I've
Yeah.
done it before. I've done that route before up to Manchester. No problem. Easy. So I'm waiting at the bus stop. I get there a bit early because I like to be a bit early.
Yeah,
Oh, of course.
I like-
yeah.
I like-
Oh, yeah.
I like to be punctual.
That's more drinking time.
Maybe you can
Yeah.
get a coffee / Irish coffee.
I could, in theory. Yes,
you
there's a
want.
cafe round the corner there. John's going to say something now.
You could get a fruit juice / 2-litre bottle of
Slash-
White Lightning.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
yeah.
Irish
yeah.
fruit juice.
Yeah, you know.
It depends.
Come see, come saw.
Yeah, it depends how far before or after midday it is.
I
really.
see.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting there at the bus stop. There's a few other people waiting for this bus. And we're waiting about 40 minutes, and I'm starting to think,
That seems a
I've
while.
given myself an hour and a half buffer to make my connection in Birmingham.
Uh-oh.
So I'm not too worried.
No,
Yet.
no.
No.
I'm more.
Maybe a little.
I'm annoyed that I've been waiting that long. Whatever.
No, Chris Ray's not quick to anger.
No,
Yeah,
not
you
not
know.
not
No.
not outside of this podcast.
I mean,
no.
you have
No.
2 lit flaming torches in your hands
Yeah.
at this point, but
I have.
that's actually pretty low for you.
I have
yeah.
thrown at least a couple of others at the passing public.
Yeah, but
But
again,
they
pretty low
they
for
had
you.
it coming.
They
They had
exactly.
it coming. So I go on the National Express coach tracker,
Here we go.
and the coach tracker doesn't say anything. I thought, that's odd.
That's weird.
Because normally it gives you an expected departure time and the actual departure time.
Right.
My bus was coming from Plymouth.
Ah.
There were no actual departure times on that coach tracker.
That's
and
a
I thought,
red
I
alert.
thought that's a problem.
And I said to myself, that's not right.
I said that's exactly
That's
that's
not right,
exactly
no.
what I said.
I imagine if I was in your position, I'd have said to myself, "That's not right."
Yeah.
No.
So I phoned up National Express, didn't I? And I
Of
said,
course you did.
course you did, yeah.
I said
I'm surprised you didn't tweet them first, but yeah, sure.
I should have. I have since.
Of course you have.
I said, "Hello, it's Chris." They
Oh
went,
no, it's Chris.
Yeah.
They like cover the phone for a second.
"Oh,
it's
sh-"
him.
They're like,
Quick, record the
There's
call.
a photo of you on the
Yeah.
wall.
"It's him. It's him."
With like 10 darts in its forehead.
Yeah, I'm like Cher to them.
Do not anger this man.
So I said, "Hello, I'm waiting here
It's Chris.
at Cheltenham Spa. I'm waiting for my bus to Birmingham. I've been here. I had been there about an hour because I said I like to turn up early, drink my White Lightning.
I've got
So on."
I've got a 2-litre bottle of White Lightning. I'm a
they-
litre through it.
And they
of
said,
glue.
"Oh yes, let me just track your coach." I said, "Oh, thank you so much."
At this point, I would argue that they know. They already know that they
Yeah.
fucked it.
pretty much.
Oh yeah. We'll just
So
we'll
I hear,
just
so
track
I
it.
hear, so I hear someone pretending to press buttons in the background, typing.
You can just hear him wiping sweat
Yeah,
off his forehead.
and they go to me. Oh, get this! They go to me. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I can see your bus is running 140 minutes late. And I went, as if that was acceptable.
As if that's an answer.
As if that was fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, I said out loud.
40 minutes.
I deliberately said it loud enough that the other passengers could hear. I went, 140 minutes.
I'd have been like, that's feature length, you son of a bitch.
Tap, tap, tap. So, good news, Mr. Ray. Your coach is 140 minutes
Yeah.
late, but we've got you on tomorrow's bus, so that's fine. That's very positive. That's good news.
But I said,
Are you happy? Are you happy still?
I went 140 minutes, and then I just left a long pause. I thought, I'll wait to see what
let
the
them-
advisor has to say, and there was a long pause. They went, yeah. I was like, right. I mean, I said, there's not a lot I can say to that, is there? I mean, what literally can I say to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not late. That's basically cancelled.
It's so barefaced
Yeah.
as well that they would just say that number to you and not with a hint of like, this is really bad.
And the thing is that if I had known that on the coach tracker or in advance, or someone had made that clear,
You wouldn't have.
I
even-
could have made alternative arrangements to get to Birmingham and catch my connection.
Yes, yeah,
I would have
quite,
done
yeah.
that. That would
Yes,
have been fine.
yeah.
But the fact I had to phone them up to be told my coach was 2 hours 20 minutes.
So what did
behind
they
schedule.
say? What did they?
Not a
Gravity
lot.
well.
They just sort of went, okay, have a nice day.
Time dilation.
I mean, I was just like, what can I say?
Yeah.
So I didn't. I was
It
going
is-
to a stag do, as I say.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the stag do.
So that was that.
That was that.
Fuck.
I have subsequently written several strongly worded letters
Yeah.
to National Express.
That's why you should.
I've got my refund, but I'm going after them.
Our public
for more.
transport is so shit.
Yeah,
That's awful.
But what I mean is, like, you get that, and I've never had that happen before.
Yeah.
That I've phoned up and they've gone like, that's fine. Like, it's just like they've forgotten companies how to do these
It's almost
basic
like
things.
They saw that number on the screen. They saw 140 minutes, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, we'll just tell him that." And that, like, not a single part of their human brain went, "Hang on, that's over 2 hours."
Yeah.
No, not
It's
a
like,
single
"No, this is fine.
flicker
yeah.
in the brain went off.
I
there.
have to say, I do love that moment though, when say you're using like a tracking app, or you're in like Amazon or something like that, where you have information about your product or your service, and then you call customer services and you have just 10% more information than they do.
Yeah.
You're like, that the ship carrying your parcel is on fire, like in the middle of the Baltic or
Yeah.
something like that.
It's
then
taken over by pirates.
and you're like, hello, yes, I'm just calling to inquire about, my bus or my parcel. I'm like, oh, very good, Mr. Ray. Yeah, we'll just look for that now. Oh yeah, I can wait. And you're looking at the app, which is
You're
Got a
literally
little- a little
literally looking
8-bit
outside your
graphic.
front window at the fire.
Yeah, it's just an 8-bit graphic on your phone of an iceberg just bobbing up and down in the ocean.
But I also, to that end, I looked at the traffic on my Google Maps
Yeah.
at the time, because they did mention traffic on the phone.
oh, of course.
So I was like, well, I'll
Okay.
just have a look, because
Yeah.
that sounds like bullshit. So I looked at it from Bristol to Cheltenham. Fine. No problem at all. So anyway, after I wrote to them, they came back and said, oh, yes, I'm looking back at what happened, and it seems there was a great deal of stop-start traffic. Stop-start? Bristol to Cheltenham is a 40-minute journey. Stop-start! 2 hours, 20 minutes late! Jesus Christ! How much was it starting?
Very little, I'd wager.
Unbelievable!
that's outrageous.
So they were like, because it's traffic and it's beyond our control,
Oh, here we
I
go.
cannot offer you further compensation. Well, let's take that as read.
Well-
Let's say that's not bollocks. It is.
Sure.
But let's say it's not.
They've shifted to a reality.
What
where
they
that makes
could
sense.
have done subsequently to that is at least put it on the app that
Oh,
it was
yeah.
running late, because I then would have known. Or, given the amount of passengers, there were maybe 5 passengers waiting at the bus stop, put us in taxis.
Yeah.
Put us in a taxi.
Do something.
Yeah.
Just
do
get us to
something.
Birmingham.
Anything like
You're a national company. Travel national
But
company.
The thing is, like 10 minutes late. Fine, that's late.
As I say, I had a 90-minute buffer.
Yeah.
Because I was going to Birmingham, I was going back out of the same coach station.
Yeah.
An hour late would have been fine.
Yeah, but if you're like, I'm here to catch a train or a bus or whatever, and you're like, okay, 10 minutes, okay, that's a delay.
I've had that many times, and
Yeah.
when the bus driver arrives, I'm less polite to him than I would normally be.
And he knows. He feels that.
I punch him harder than I normally would.
Okay, but also because this is Britain, maybe even let's say half an hour late.
It does happen.
I'm frustrated. We need to do something about your beer.
It's just
Nick's beer's still not open.
such a small hole, and bubbles keep like blowing out of it. But yeah, no, go on.
You go like half an hour late. I'm frustrated,
Nothing.
but it's here. If you are the company, and it's 2 hours. How long was
2
it?
hours 20.
2 hours 20 minutes late. That is more than enough time to work out an alternative plan.
But bear in mind, it starts from Plymouth. You can get from Plymouth to Cheltenham in probably just over 2.5 hours.
probably around 2. Yeah.
Just
But
sit
once
another
you're an
bus.
hour in, like maybe do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
But the fact there were no times on the departure information on the tracker makes me think it never left.
Yeah,
I can't prove that.
No, but like the very convenient of saying like, oh, traffic means that it's powers beyond our control kind of thing.
Yeah.
They could just say that no matter what. They could
So
just say that
And
regardless.
I'm going back because I took a screenshot of the tracker, knowing this,
Nicely done.
and I said, "Well, I've gone back and said that's okay. I accept that there was traffic, bollocks, but I accept it.
Yeah.
You have to because they've
But
said it.
you didn't provide the service,
Yes.
so therefore I want additional compensation.
Yes.
And a load of chocolate coins.
Yeah,
And it's coming back. It's coming
For
back
some
to me now.
reason.
Because again, I used to get the train daily to and from Gloucester when I used to work there, and the trains were awful.
yeah,
And it went through a period where it just wouldn't turn up some days.
unbelievable.
And it was that same thing where, like, I don't mean to shit on the customer service person. They're just doing their job. I'm angry at the engine,
Yeah.
pun intended, that drives it. But, like, I'd message them and I'm like, hey, guys, I'm standing on the train station for, like, the fifth day in a row where the train hasn't turned up.
Yeah.
And you're saying that train came from Cardiff. And I'm like, I'm tracking it.
Yeah.
Like, where is it?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we think it's been delayed. I don't think
I
it
know,
exists.
I can tell you now it's delayed.
I don't think it exists.
standing here.
You know.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
doesn't. Probably didn't.
Don't lie to me.
And then they were like, oh, staff shortages. What does that mean?
Yeah.
If it's 5 days in a row with staff shortages,
Yeah.
is there some kind of incident
You maybe
happening
need
in
new,
Cardiff?
new,
Yeah.
new staff, maybe.
Was there a moida?
And then 2 weeks later,
Here we go.
so there was another one.
Oh, there you go.
Bear in mind, I've never had anything like that happen before. 2 weeks later, which was the weekend just gone, I was going to go to Plymouth.
Oh, it's always
Ironically.
Plymouth. That's
So
What
always
is it with you
Plymouth.
in Plymouth?
yeah.
I was going to Plymouth.
Maybe
for
you're
a
the problem.
No, it could be me.
Oh yeah, you were going to see a football game.
I was going to see a football match.
Ah, yes,
Ah.
Plymouth versus Gillingham.
I've heard
Yeah.
of these football matches. They're
Um,
quite popular these days, actually.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
They are now. The crowds are back.
Indeed.
So I was going to go down there. I booked my trains well in advance.
Of course.
Um,
yeah, as you should.
As you should. And then it turns up at 4 o'clock the day before I'm supposed to leave. Oh yeah, your train to Plymouth will no longer be calling it Plymouth. I'm like, well, that's a problem.
Wait. That's
Yeah.
very much the end of the line, isn't
Well,
it?
I was like, well, that's a problem because that's where I'm going. So I basically phoned her up and said, hello, yeah,
Hello, Chris again.
right, I'm going to Plymouth, right. So I had looked up additional trains. They all started getting delayed or being cancelled. Basically, would have meant I'd missed the game. So I had to work out a different route.
Of course. Yeah.
So I said, hello, yeah, my train to Plymouth is no longer stopping me at Plymouth, which is obviously an issue.
What does it do? Just sort of drive into the sea?
Yeah,
Like,
God knows.
It just carries on.
So he's like, oh, yes, sir, but probably the best thing to do is I just refund you the full amount and you can then do your alternative route. I was like, all right. I mean, this is a pain in the ass, but all right. So I did that. And Liz very kindly offered to drive me to Filton, which is near Bristol.
Okay.
So I could get from Filton to Taunton and then change at Taunton to go down to Plymouth.
Right.
Okay.
So I booked that at 7 o'clock maybe on the Friday evening, going down 6:30 on the Saturday morning. Well, that's
Sure.
when I'd wake up. That's
Bloody
my
hell.
alarm was set for.
Sure.
Nasty.
So my alarm was set for 6:30 on the Saturday morning. My alarm goes off. I'm like, oh, it's football day.
Bibbidi bip.
Football day. Woo Football
most-
day is finally here.
Most exciting day.
Yay,
Most
football!
exciting day of the week, as
Yeah.
I understand it.
And I have a notification on my phone, don't I?
Oh, I
So
bet
it's-
it's just John saying, "Hey, buddy."
I hope
Oh,
you have a
it
great
wa-
day at football.
Yeah, I hope you have a great
That
football
would have
day.
been excellent. John,
And then
Wish,
me
I,
saying-
wish I could be there.
And then there's a message
John,
underneath from me.
John
just
never
saying,
messages me.
me just saying, "Fuck you." Chris.
Yeah. I
Fuck
hope you fucking lose.
After what happened.
Yeah.
You
Anyway,
got some fucking nerve.
You've got
Anyway,
some nerve going to football today. All these days.
after I'd read those two messages, I read the message from the train line again that said, your train from Filton Abbey Wood is no longer stopping at Filton Abbey Wood.
Oh my.
I was like, oh, well, that's curious.
Because that's
Fiddle-dee-dee.
because whoopity duck.
Yeah.
I kind of need to go there.
And it turns out that all the trains going through or into or somewhere near Bristol were fucked, basically, that weekend. But they hadn't told anyone until literally
Just thought they could blag it out. I mean,
Yeah.
there's only so many people in the country.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I had to cancel that because
So you didn't go to the
didn't go to football, didn't go to the stag, didn't go to the football,
Jesus.
and
Piss.
it's just like that's acceptable now.
apparently just
That's
not.
travel companies are now happy to not get you anywhere
Yeah.
because no one knows how to do anything after the last 18 months.
And your expectations are so low
Yeah.
Or they should be nowadays. But you're like, oh, you got me half the way there.
Yeah.
That's
I
fine.
mean, what more do you want?
That's all right.
I
You
got
wanna
a
actually get
refund
to the
on
thing?
that as well, and it's just like, Christ.
And
I haven't got the
refund-
energy to keep
yeah.
going after
And-
compensation.
And they're like, oh, we'll just apply for compensation, as you say. It's like, well, it's fine. Compensation and all is great, but I also wanted to be in a place.
Yeah.
Imagine
at a
being on your
certain-
deathbed and your grandchildren going, Grandpapa, what did you do with your life? And you're like, well, actually, I never went anywhere, but I got so much compensation, you wouldn't
You would not-
believe it.
I basically didn't spend a penny.
I broke basically even.
Yeah.
Like, it's unreal.
My whole pension pot is compensation, basically.
I know what you mean though, because like I've been sending a few parcels recently because I've been fulfilling a Kickstarter that I recently did. Yeah, and I've been getting messages from people who have been receiving clawed open empty parcels. Right,
This
and-
book turned up on my doorstep, singed and
But
ripped.
nobody can do what they're supposed to do
But like,
anymore.
but like, here's my mystery, right? So somewhere in the system of the post office, this is in the US, right? Somewhere between it leaving my door and it arriving at theirs, the parcel was attacked by a wolverine,
Yeah.
right? And the contents were ripped from twain,
Yeah.
right? Leaving an empty husk shell of cardboard.
Isn't it funny?
which
Isn't
still
it
has
funny
an
that
address
the
on it?
Wolverine wanted the game and not the parcel?
Interesting, isn't
that
it?
funny?
But here's the kicker, right? Here's the real fucking kicker: is that the postman, he's doing his daily routine in the local area in the US, and walking down the road. Oh, this is a parcel for 23, US Avenue, shittimity. Look down.
That is the main street in America, I think. Yeah.
US Street.
Yeah.
Looks down and it's just a clawed husk
And he delivers
with
that.
nothing in it. He's like, I'll just pop this through the
is
door.
fine.
I'll just pop this through 23.
Just ring the door. Well, hello, sir. Your parcel's here.
And what a good day it is today
Yeah.
to you, sir. Would you like...
I am fascinated by those situations where the bare minimum would be you screwed up.
we goofed this.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I didn't do my job properly. This parcel, perfectly intact. Like, if I do nothing, this parcel doesn't arrive. It takes special effort to put it through a wheat thresher
Yeah.
and somehow still deliver it.
Yeah. But it's
I'm-
like he must have... The postman who did the final step must have pulled it out of his sack, his postal sack, and
Looked
gone,
at it.
Yeah.
hang on.
Hang on.
And he could have gone, you know what, I'm not going to deliver
Yeah.
this. Because
Use your common sense.
something's gone wrong here.
Well, but let's roll it back. Like, someone in the sorting office looked at that and was like, this is fine.
But
Chuck it in.
at what point did someone rip it from its parcel?
Well, this is the question. When did the Wolverine get into the
Yeah.
mix? We don't know.
I'm good few years ago now, back in 2014, I shipped some very heavy hardbacks all across the world. I remember one going to Singapore, and when it turned up, it looked like a puma had slashed it open. Like, literally torn it apart.
I mean,
Yeah. Like, what do you... I don't know what
Yeah.
to say or do.
but it's like these companies, the coaches, the trains, the parcel, they do one thing. And the sort of contract that we hold them to is that once we are within their embrace, they do that one thing. And they don't have to do anything else. They are literally only beholden to that one task. And then they don't do it at all. They just don't do it at all. And then they just go, oh, well. And
Well,
that's
I
the
feel like
answer.
now that's an excuse because people haven't really done stuff for that for so
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
And now they're just like, oh, it's teething problems.
Oh, yeah,
it's
am
not,
I right?
though, is it? You've done it before.
Yeah.
You've had a year pretty quiet.
You've got hundreds of people
But
in your employ.
just do what you did.
Just do it.
You don't have to do anything different. Just do what you did. It worked fine.
I remember back in, I think it was 2012 when I did my first ever Kickstarter, and I ordered a sack of badges.
Nice.
Various
So the
designs.
basic Imperial unit.
Yeah,
of
and
badges.
they manufactured the badges, they posted them, and then somewhere between A and B, I had a tracking number and everything. They just disappeared.
Nice.
They just
Aliens,
were just
probably.
gone. So I had to go to the local sorting office, and they were like, I was like, hey, I got this. Like, where's my parcel? And they're like, oh yeah, we'll have to look for it. We have to go through a period of looking for it. It might be in the back. Why don't you check back in 24 hours? So I come back in 24 hours. I'm like, did you check? I'm like, yeah, we couldn't find it. Yeah. So I'm like, so what happens now? And they're like, well, I guess we'll keep checking. And I'm like, in the same place? Like, is it, are you expecting it to turn up?
Yeah.
Why does all logic disappear
Yeah.
all of a sudden?
And again, I don't mean to shit on those people because they're just doing their job. But it's like
I'm sure they're as mystified as you are, but there's got to be a process.
But the policy was basically like nobody's going to accept any blame. Like the corporation will not go, oh, we just don't know.
No.
Like they're not going to say like, oh yeah, we fucked up. And then eventually they had to admit, they're like, well, it's not magically turned up in 5 days. And they're like, yeah, we think it's lost.
I know a
And I'm like-
postman who once threw his post in the canal. Like, met him. And
why,
he told me that
why did he do that?
he was just having a bad day.
Clearly.
That's what he said. I
Yeah.
met him. He was at university. A friend of a friend.
I mean,
He was
I
just
get-
like,
I
yeah, I'm a
get it.
postman. I was like, oh, how's that? It's like, yeah, not great. I'm not very good at it. I threw my post in the
Well, I
canal.
mean, there's being not very good at it. And
Yeah.
there's maybe
I do understand that the moving parts of this system are people, and
Yes.
people are not perfect. They have bad days, they have good days, they have flaws, they have strengths.
Sure.
I do get it, but the whole point of a system or a company on this scale is that they accommodate for that.
That's the point. It's the fact that it's a big company and there's enough infrastructure
Yeah.
to be better at it.
That's it. Like
Just
you
be,
said,
just
like
be
with the
not,
taxis.
just be not shit.
Yeah. Okay. Your bus is 200 million hours late. Whatever the fuck it was. It's a lie. I don't care. The fact is, you fucked it. Get a taxi out. Solve it. That's how you do it. You just fix it. In the case of my parcel, you pay someone money equivalent to what was lost. That's you solve it. You solve the problem. But instead of you just go, well, I don't know, mate.
Yeah.
Don't know.
There it is.
Yeah.
Put the world to rights.
What are we going to do about that beer?
Well, I mean, I don't want to be a stick in the mud about it.
Well, if you two are willing to talk among yourselves for a few minutes, I could go and try
Or
and
we could.
hammer that. We could what? Something wrong with your neck?
Oh,
No,
you want-
he's...
like the death symbol. Is that the Death Eater?
We could kill each other.
Oh, you want to go to Hogwarts?
Ah.
Oh, wait. What's that noise?
Dun, 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 dun,
I'm
dun,
closing my
dun,
eyes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Shifting.
Expecto Patronum!
Hagrid, no!
Oh, you're so scabby, Hagrid.
Your stench is so surprising.
Oh, whew, God,
Oh,
I'm
we're back. We're
I just
back.
spent 17 years in,
Yeah.
in Hagrid's
You've
cave.
grown
Oh,
a
that
magical
was-
beard.
That was wonderful. There was so much war though for a school.
There was a lot of war for a school. I thought the same.
The old Dementors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun for like 6 months, but once we realised we couldn't leave, like the dream only extended to Hogwarts and we only had so much food, it got pretty gnarly.
Yeah,
Well, I lived to be Dumbledore's age.
you did.
Yeah,
yeah.
that
And you
was-
were a better headmaster than he
That
ever
was pretty.
to
I
be
still
fair.
couldn't grow a beard. But
No.
there you go, never mind.
I had to kill and eat Neville.
Yeah. he had it coming, didn't he?
The dream soured pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'll never do it again.
no. Don't do shifting, kids.
No.
It's not cool.
Hey kids, don't shift.
Don't shift.
Hashtag don't shift.
Don't shift.
We'll start that hashtag. We've got a community hate from friend of the show,
Community hates.
Louis.
Louis.
Friend of the show, Louis. He's got quite a diatribe here, but it's very good. And I'm gonna
Imagine a diatribe on this show.
imagine. Can you
Imagine
imagine
such a thing?
Someone taking some time,
Yeah.
so our listeners' time to just talk about something they hate. Can you imagine?
I think Louis needs to learn a little moderation, if I'm
Yeah.
honest.
He starts with, "Okay, time to channel my inner Chris rage."
Ooh.
So there's a
Oh, I
nice
like
little-
that.
Chris
nice little-
Rage.
Rage.
Chris
That's
Rage.
R-A-Y.
He hasn't put a Y in the rage.
Oh, that's a
That's
shame.
that could be your wrestling name.
Chris Rage.
or it could be your segment.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Chris
Chris
Rage.
Rage.
Chris
I like
Rage.
that.
Yeah.
And then we can have a hot guitar lick, like
We could do something with that. I like
Chris
that.
Rage.
The Chris
With
Rage.
a Y, yeah.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Is there a way we can get hate-related words into all of our names?
Nick. Angle Grinder.
I've got a.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, all right.
John Locke.
John.
Down. Everyone hates
Lockdown.
lockdown.
Everyone does hate lockdown.
Yeah.
We're not at our best here, so I'm
No.
going to carry on with it.
Yeah, please, yeah.
So he says, "Okay, time to channel my inner Chris Rage."
Sometimes we should just take it off air, shouldn't we?
we really
yeah,
should.
probably, yeah. We'll brainstorm it.
Louis says, "I moved house 2 months ago, and with that comes a lot of paperwork, planning, calling places, and changing billing addresses. You know, the usual.
All right, Louis.
Admin.
Let it go.
Come on. It's slowly becoming a home I'm very proud of. That's nice.
That's
good.
That's lovely.
Well, last week we got a letter telling us their warrant on our house that was posted to us. What for? Stealing the neighbour's gas line? No. Loud house
Has
parties
he,
involving...
has he been stealing the neighbour's gas?
I mean, he
line?
has, but we all do.
Ah,
you
okay.
know. Loud house parties involving outdoor fireworks indoors? Yeah, of course.
Sure.
Lots of that.
That's nobody's business if it's indoors.
But apparently, no, it was for not having a TV license. And then he says 2 words. He says, fuck off,
Oh,
which I like. I like those
yeah,
2 words
yeah,
together.
clever.
He says, not only do I have a vast wealth of media accessible from podcasts, some in nearly double figures.
All right, Louis.
So that's a little joke
Oh, I
there.
saw that's a little
Oh, wow.
show called Hate Related.
Weeks of video uploaded daily by content creators and this thing called the fucking internet,
Yeah, internet's gonna be massive.
which has, I think it will.
I'm telling you.
And he says, which has pages and pages of Sonic fan art for me to ignore. Why the goddamn hell do you think I need to opt out of your piddly televisual medium? Your Uflix Disney Hub do not email me complaining I don't have a subscription to them.
You flicks this.
It's opt-in because if they didn't, they would be dicks. It's an archaic template of a dying platform and I am pissed the fuck off that I'm being treated like a felon for forgetting this turgid and minuscule content factory when I have bigger things to worry about like this Knuckles poster on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Wow.
Idris Elba's playing Knuckles.
That's, apparently so.
Well, he's either a genuine listener or an amazing Russian agent because he's referenced all the right things.
So many trigger words in
I
there
know,
as well.
it's incredible.
Like
Yeah,
someone's
double done,
activated
yeah.
from listening to that.
Double figures is kind of amazing.
Double
actually.
figures
Double
is
figures.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, TV licenses can fuck the fuck off.
So
I think that's
is
true.
Is Louis saying that he watches BBC?
No, he's saying he doesn't,
Okay.
and that he's getting chased for the TV
Oh, well,
license there.
that shouldn't be.
Yes, because if you have
You can never opt out
a
permanently.
property.
Yeah,
Yeah, so if you pay
Surely
council
you can.
tax,
Surely
you're-
you can prove you don't.
and apparently we have to do it every 2 fucking
Is
years.
that right?
I had to do it at uni when I was in the 3rd year of university. I had a TV in my room,
You monster.
but I had for playing the PlayStation 2,
Oh, a good console.
which was a cutting edge thing at the time.
I still have a PlayStation 2
Indeed.
that I was gifted.
There was something wrong with my PlayStation 2 where any DVD you put in appeared
Turned out to
green.
be porn. Oh,
Yeah, funny that was. Yeah, I had 15 DVDs and they were all porn. but,
weird.
See, the only disagreement I have with this
Here we
is,
go.
is not anything
Chris,
particularly badly.
You poke the bear. That's what you get.
I happen to like the BBC,
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fine.
we all like the BBC.
but so I can't really relate
Nick-
in the respect
Nick's a
that
traitor.
I think the license fee is very well priced
Here's the thing. I don't
if you use it.
I don't disagree at all.
Doesn't disagree.
Yeah.
I agree. The
He
opposite
agrees.
of disagree.
This is terrible audio.
This is the
we're all,
stance I
we're all
take.
agreeing with each other.
I agree with you. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
You don't subscribe to Crunchyroll, the anime platform, do you?
What the hell are you talking about?
Right. Maybe I should backtrack a little. You know Netflix?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know Netflix.
Yeah, you know Netflix. Netflix is good, right? Imagine Netflix for just Japanese big eye cartoons.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Crunchyroll.
it's called Crunchyroll. It's literally Netflix for anime. That's literally what it is.
right.
How would you feel if every
if
every 2 years
Yeah.
Crunchyroll sent you an email or a
Yeah.
letter? No, worse, a letter.
Slightly
No,
threatening.
A
A
box.
threatening.
Yeah.
A box with a severed head of Naruto in it.
Okay. I don't know what that is either.
It's a
but-
very funny joke that I
Okay.
just made.
Be thankful that you don't know what that is.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're better off for not
Yeah.
knowing. And they said you haven't joined you haven't paid £100 for a Crunchyroll subscription.
No.
What's wrong with you, Chris?
Well, I'd say it sounds delicious. First of all. No, I agree in that principle. Certainly. Yeah.
yeah.
No, if you don't watch it, you should not be chased for it, and people should have the technology by now to not, or to realise that you're not using this service for sure. For sure.
It's clearly very archaic for some reason.
But again, like when I've been in this scenario when I was at university in my final year. I was living on my own in a university accommodation, and I had a TV, like one of those old box TVs, because we're talking like 2007.
We left my old box TV at my halls. I was very upset about it.
Oh,
But we were just like, well, we're not going to use it again,
oh, there we go.
so we'll leave it for the next generation.
But I
They'll be like,
had.
what's this
Yeah,
artifact
yeah,
from
what
a
is-
forgotten era?
It's like a TV but box.
But thinking back, because I was very confused and I didn't know anything at that age. I had a TV and I didn't watch TV on it. Like I just played.
How ironic.
I just played PlayStation 2 on it.
PlayStation
you see.
2.
And I had, looking back, I think was like a Ethernet cable. And when I got that threat, this is no joke. When I got that threatening letter through the post saying like, "We notice you haven't paid your TV license," my first reaction, I shit you not, was to cut the Ethernet cable up and throw it in a different bin, like not even the bin in my room. Like, I
Very
was so
careful.
scared
Very careful.
that the TV police were coming. That I scattered the fragments of his Ethernet cable, which would not have got me the TV.
No, it was
I know
nothing
that
to do with
now.
that.
I know that
Yeah, that
now.
would-
You're an idiot, John.
I didn't know
That,
anything
if
about
anything,
that.
has just cost you a cable. isn't
Yeah.
it?
But I was so scared by it, and then I called him up and I was like, I don't I don't watch TV.
All I want to do is play Final Fantasy.
I don't watch TV. I just want to defeat the Dark Aeons in Final Fantasy X. And they were like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, thanks for letting us know."
Yeah.
And also, John, how you getting on with the Dark Aeons?
Oh, it's really tough. I went back to fight Dark Veil 4, and it just kind of really hit me for 6. Oh, I see. Yeah, have you maxed out Kimari's Ultima weapon yet? No, I haven't. Avoiding the thunderbolts in the lightning planes is really hard. Oh yeah, but you got to keep at it, champ. And then I reckon you'll do it. Oh, thanks. You've been a really good friend. Can I? No, goodbye. Click.
Turns out TV license guys are really good.
Yeah.
For a chat about TV licenses, I've understood shockingly little of this conversation.
What I find weird is that how they took the old Nintendo Power helpline and they just turned it into the TV license line, and
It is
nobody
weird.
noticed.
It
Yeah,
is
it happened
weird,
overnight. Yeah. Hey, I'm here to pay my TV license. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Also, in Bomberman, I've got like the line out, but I keep getting trapped in my own in corners of my own.
Oh, you want the
making.
kick power up? That's going to really help you out in
yeah.
that situation. Yeah.
Before we go, what are your thoughts on Wario Blast, which was the standalone crossover between Wario and Bomberman?
I hate it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Even the Trounce power up?
Especially
Oh,
the
wow,
Trounce
yeah.
power up.
You're all right, Keith. I'll pay this year, but...
You got me again. Ah, jokes.
Oh, I like video games.
I know.
The thing is, because I'm increasingly an old man,
Yes.
I talk to my colleagues at work, and they all talk...
That's your first mistake.
And they all talk about popular TV shows such as Love Island
Oh.
No.
and the like, and I'm like, I do not have terrestrial TV. Also, can someone
Calling it terrestrial is your first mistake.
Can someone please find my Zimmer frame, because I just refer to it as terrestrial
Yeah.
TV. And they're like, "What do you watch?" I'm like, "Well, I watch the YouTubes and I watch the Netflixes,
The Netflix.
but I do not watch terrestrial TV."
No.
Televisual.
I do.
You do.
I watch terrestrial.
Well, yeah, and you bring so much gold to this podcast. Like,
Yeah.
We need this.
Well,
like
you
my
know.
laminated dream of a holiday in Australia, wherever that.
That's what the
called.
show's called.
that show,
My
yeah.
laminated
My
dream
laminated
of
dream
a
of-
holiday in Australia.
That would be better, actually.
What was that? What was that podcast? What was that show called?
Oh, I Wanted Down Under.
Wanted Down Under.
That's a shame. Isn't
That's
it?
another callback to a previous episode.
Yeah,
Doing a lot of them.
yeah, it's great.
It's a greatest
Yeah.
hits.
In fact, also that was I want to say that was the first episode we recorded when the lockdown was eased the first
Oh,
time
Jesus.
in
Who
person
even
down in the
knows?
kitchen.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Who even knows?
Good God.
got funny memories, eh?
Good times.
Wow.
Anyway, enough about Louis.
Yeah, no, yeah, Louis.
Who's got a love?
I guess it's me, isn't it?
I guess it's Nick.
I guess it's me. I love trading cards.
Oh.
It's simple.
Okay.
And I don't have a lot more to say about it other than the fact that I don't really care what they are
Okay.
Okay.
or what they're for
Sure.
or whether or not there's a game involved to
Or
play
who sees you with them?
or what's on them. You know, Santa Claus porn. If it's that, I'd still collect them. That's what I'm getting at. There's just something about them. I don't know why I said Santa Claus porn.
so
Oh,
that
wow, you
that's
collect-
weird that your head. That's the weird that your head went there.
Oh, you mean Festive Fuckers TCG?
Yeah.
Like, I love that game.
What a game.
I've got a lot of Festive Fuckers in my Festive Fuckers album.
I've got a shiny tinsel tits. Like, nobody talks about that.
Oh no.
Yeah, Turgid Elf's good as well. I mean,
Here comes Rancid Reindeer.
oh no, that one sounds awful.
Oh, Turgid Elf.
The thing is, I don't care. I don't care what's on them, as indicated
No,
by
clearly
Festive
not.
Fuckers. Like, there's something very appealing.
Do you trade them?
Well, this is the sad thing. As a 35-year-old man,
Not so much.
No, not so much.
Keep
No.
them.
And also, I collect cards from games that I'll never be able to play because, like, I live with my wife, and
Yeah.
she doesn't give a shit about this.
That's fair.
It is, isn't it? And so I'll be at a show or I'll be online or something, and I'll be like, those look pretty. I'm going to buy those, and then I get a deck of these cards, and I can do literally nothing with them.
Can't trade them.
Except I can't trade them because if I go to a playground, they say, no, sir, you're banned, remember? And I have to leave. Because I try to trade Festive Fuckers with all the children. And
Yes.
that's not suitable.
They
for
frown
children.
upon
They
that.
do. They
Yeah.
do.
Especially
And it
at
was like,
Christmas.
sir, these cards are all printed on. Well, printed is a strong word. They appear to be handwritten on scraps of.
Doesn't look like ink either.
Are they old? Are those old receipts? Like,
Is that feces? And blood. And that's why I'm banned to this day.
because this has come up.
On the show?
I'm aware of your problem,
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know.
and I admire you for this in many ways for being so keeping to your convictions.
Sure. Okay.
But
Let's take that.
we this came up the other day. We were talking about Redakai.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'm so sorry.
No, Chris Ray, you're too cool for this shit. But like,
Yeah,
you are culturally aware of Pokemon trading cards.
Yes,
You may have heard of Magic: The Gathering.
I have.
There we go.
Indeed, all these things are collectible
More of a
card
nerd
games.
than you.
Now,
are.
Redakai is a game which I believe Nick is the only person on the planet who's actually purchased.
I own many cards.
You
of
know,
Reddit.
football stickers.
Yes.
Football stickers.
I thought we might end up.
You know,
here.
like when you
But that's where it all began,
Yeah.
I think.
yeah.
But you go to like the newsagents, and on the counter there'd be a big cardboard box with lots of
There would.
packs. Yeah, and you I'd like one, please. So I'm saying Nicholas goes on, say, eBay,
Right.
and someone is selling an entire box,
The
Like,
retailer box.
the entire thing that
Okay.
would go on the desk, and it's like 80 pence for like 4,000 cards.
But how many do you need?
Well,
I would say probably 0.
Okay.
I in terms of
do you
what I
buy
need,
do you buy boxes in the desire to get like one card?
No. See, this is the thing. I'm not even like an obsessive collector. I'm not like going after a shiny Charizard or whatever. Like I'm not. I just like them.
Okay.
I will quite often buy one, largish box so that I have a wealth of them.
Yes.
Not knowing really much more about the game or the collection or anything really that much about it,
Okay.
because they look cool.
Yes.
And then I'll have that box and I'll be like, yes.
Because the game is almost irrelevant.
Yes, that will.
Yeah.
The game is almost irrelevant. Like, I was chatting to someone the other day about. I discovered that one of my colleagues at work used to collect Pokemon cards.
Ah, there we go.
And we had like one of those weird, like, oh yeah, I used to collect those as well. I had a shiny Grass and Fighting Gen 1 deck, you know.
Fuck
Ooh.
yeah.
I still remember the moment where.
Give me a fucking chance.
I still remember the moment I was on. My brother and I were on holiday with my grandparents up in Wales, and we bought a couple of packs of Pokemon booster cards.
Nice.
And I was well on my way to having a mostly holographic Grass and Fighting deck,
Fully shiny.
a fully shiny. Yeah, and I opened this booster pack, and there was a holographic Venusaur, and I still remember that moment to this day.
What a feeling.
What a feeling!
Yeah.
I'm dancing on the ceiling,
Yeah.
and
You were.
it's like getting the
Holographic Sheffield Wednesday football club.
there we go, yeah, the crest,
The crest.
yeah,
Thank you so much for making it accessible
Yeah.
for a dum dum.
And I was like, but again, I never played it against anyone.
No.
Like at that point, I was already on my way out of Pokemon cards. I was far too cool at that point.
Oh, for sure.
But I had it, and it's like, well, I've got this amazing card. I will never play against anyone because I don't really know enough people who collect it. I will never.
But there's something just, I don't know, it's artifactual. There's something special about this little bit of card that's got a bit of artwork on it, and it shines when you.
10,000 of which were printed in a low rent
Yeah.
factory in China.
Yeah,
you know.
child labour forced to pack little cards into bits of foily bags.
They've
you
done
know.
a good job. So
They've done a great job, to be
Yeah.
fair. They're
Like,
really, really good.
Now I have to ask to set up the bit, but I know the
yes.
answer already. Are you familiar with the Power 9?
Why would you do this?
I have to say it.
I guess
Okay,
you do.
so Magic: The Gathering is a
I should say at this point I know the brand name Magic the Gathering.
Yes.
I know nothing about it.
now it is a card game.
Well, I know that.
Okay, but it's a massive collectible card game.
Set in a
Okay.
There are
fantasy universe.
Thousands, if not tens of thousands, millions
More.
even of cards.
Many.
Yeah. And every generation they choose how many they're going to print. Like we've made 100 new cards this year, and this one is a common, so there's like 1 million of them,
Out in
and
the
this one's
world.
rare, so there's only 100.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's this concept of the Power 9, I think they're called. Someone will correct me.
I'm sure they will.
I'm sure they will, yeah. But like there are 9 cards.
I know
from-
for a fact that our archivist, Jack, who
Yes.
recorded all of our episodes, he is a super magic, like, aficionado.
He will probably
So
will
he'll
correct you.
probably correct you.
He's a real wizard,
of the
but not
codes.
in a Hogwarts variety. He's in a Magic the Gathering variety.
No?
Anyway,
Okay.
there are these 9 cards which I believe have been banned from play.
Tournament play.
Yeah, because they were very early cards and they're broken. They're too powerful. They're too powerful. They're legendary.
Too powerful for you, Chris, right?
Too cool for school. They're legendary cards, and they can go like if you have like a pristine like one of these cards, like one is called like is it like the Black
Lotus,
The
I
Black Lotus. Like
How much is that worth?
Like we're talking like
We're talking tens of thousands.
tens of thousands
For a card you can't use.
For a single,
Yes.
yeah, because you can't use it. I think apparently.
Yeah, but this is how it works, though. It's like
Can't you just print off your own?
There are
copy?
Pokemon cards worth hundreds of thousands of pounds.
That is mental.
you have
Yeah.
a display cabinet full of Emperor Palpatine figurines. Like, do not
Full of Palpatine.
That's-
You have multiple.
That's not that far away.
You have
from the
multiple Palpatines.
truth. Yeah, there's a shelf of Palpatine.
Yeah.
Of all the Star Wars characters to have multiples of,
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
I'd say that's the weirdest
yeah,
one. Yeah,
just the old dude.
He looks
It's
like
the old
Yeah.
crispy dude.
just
Yeah.
a,
That
just a
is- yeah.
scrotum in a robe.
He
like,
is a scrote robe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a bit strange. Yeah, I've probably got more Palpatines than any other. Yeah, but I wouldn't pay thousands.
No.
No.
Okay, hundreds.
And that's a 3D thing.
This is
Yeah.
what's interesting. Like as much as I love a card
Mm.
and I love the feel and the
iconography of it.
architectural-
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like a card is among the most easily replicated things.
Yeah.
I would say.
There's a lot of forgery.
There is a lot. Of
I'm
forgery.
sure there is,
Lot,
yeah.
lot of scamming, lot of cheating, lot of stealing, but it is funny how something so. I mean, I guess you could equate it to currency in a way.
I
like
suppose,
a
yeah.
stamp or a $100 bill or whatever. Like this is a bit of paper worth a lot, but it's worth so much more than you'd think.
Yeah.
My
It's a
issue,
weird thing.
my issue is that I've never really been much of a collector of anything. No, like as we've talked about before, like if I had my way, I'd sit in a perfectly square, empty white room.
Literally own nothing.
Yeah, and think on the void of existence. But like
That'd probably be good for shifting or whatever.
That'd be
it's
really
called.
good.
yeah,
for
probably be
shifting.
excellent for
And you
shifting,
could
yeah.
shift to a world where you collect loads of stuff.
Yeah, actually, I regularly do. I just have like I go to this room in my head, which is like there's this big hairy wizard in the corner, and he's kind of menacing.
Yeah.
But like I just have tons of like sticker albums like
Yeah.
floating.
And you're handcuffed to his dick.
Oh my god. Oh no.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I think any of us were expecting you to say that.
I wasn't even expecting
No, there it is. It just happened. We just shifted to a reality where you said that. Hopefully the mics didn't get it.
Oh, hopefully they didn't. Anyway.
So what in particular? Like, is there one collectable thing?
I think Chris has had enough of this.
Yeah.
No, I'm
No.
I'm enjoying myself.
It's nothing is better other than Redikai. as you
Redikai,
mentioned
yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
I went up into the loft, I got my box of them down, and I've just been looking at them.
Just been looking
I've
at
just
them.
been
yeah.
looking at them.
They're
and that's it.
artifacts. Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about it before I came down to do the show, and I was like, I don't have a love. Hang on.
Yeah.
I love these.
That's often how I do it. Yeah.
Shout out a love. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's true. I do really, really love them, and it's weird. I can't tell you why, but there's something special about them in my heart.
That's
And there you go.
nice.
Well, I've got a love,
Well, you're out of order.
and
aren't
no, I did.
No,
this-
John.
No,
was-
I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
you? I'm so sorry.
No, not yet. So I'm changing this on the fly.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm bringing.
This is reckless,
I
behaviour.
know. I'm 34, going on 35. Yeah, this is how I live now.
literally tonight.
My bones. But no, my love is
Trading cards.
weird shit around heraldry and inheritance in the UK.
What?
Okay, that's a very weird way of putting it.
It is, isn't it?
But Lucy and I, I have some very complex thoughts and feelings about the fact that we live in a country where we have a queen and
Sure.
we have viscounts and dukes and
Kick-ass
lords and sirs. I'm tying it back into what
Yeah,
we were talking
that's
about
good,
earlier.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I like it.
excellent.
I find that very complex, and I have a lot of feelings. Mostly that like it's some Hogwarts bullshit, and
Sure.
we kind of we're doomed because we live in Narnia.
If you ever watch the opening of Parliament, if you're from another country but Great Britain, it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's so weird.
astonishingly
Fucking
weird. But Lucy and I ended up watching this random like mini doc on YouTube, mini documentary on YouTube, which is all about like some of the last lords and ladies of the UK.
Right.
So kind of like the people who get to have a say on our laws and whatnot, even though they are not elected or accountable in any way. That's fine.
That's fine.
But just because like their great granddad wore the right flag when
Stabbed a guy.
we didn't have kind of running water, but that's fine. Anyway, so it was quite interesting though, because it was a funny little documentary. Because we followed like you got different examples. You got like this lady who was now in charge of some big crumbling castle somewhere, and she had a staff of like 50 people, and all they do is run the castle. That's like one end of it. And then at the other end of it, you have this lady who lived in a nice house in London, but she was like, my dad was the last lord of Liverpool.
Okay.
Or something weird like that. And then he died, and because he didn't have a son, and we have these weird medieval laws, the lord died with him.
Right.
So she's like, I'm technically the inheritor of that estate, but I cannot inherit because I'm a woman. So it died with him. So she had like a box, and she had like, this was his robe, here's a photo of his castle, which he used to own, and all this kind of stuff. Then they had another couple who were just like rather well-to-do couple living in London. And he was like, oh yes, I'm the 17th Earl of Berkshire or something like that. But they just live in a regular house.
Right.
But he's like, but every time there's a royal wedding, I have to dust off like
That's funny,
the
isn't it?
robe.
That is
And he's like, and this is my coronet. And he has like a crown and everything,
Whoa.
And the funny thing is that they have to invite him, because having recently planned a wedding, they have to invite
invite a
just
few
some
elves.
dude
Yeah.
to their wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a question of who they
Yeah.
want or their friends and who they went to uni with. No. You got to invite the Earl of
Yeah.
fucking
And
shit.
it was quite funny because it's just like it's
I love that county.
a slightly elderly couple doddering around their house, and the presenter's like, and the lady's like, and of course my official title is like the Grand Lady Baronet of like Wiltshire or something like that, and he's like, what should I call you? She's like, probably Helen. But then, so it was quite funny, But they're like, but of course, when the Queen, comes knocking,
Yeah.
I have to be there because I'm one of the grand lords of whatever.
What do they have to do when the Queen turns up?
Well, basically just,
Kiss her shoe.
swallow
But
the
surely,
swallow.
Swallow a royal shoe.
surely they just
The
do what
old
anyone would
lord.
do. It's like if the Queen knocked on your door and said, "Oh, hello,
Hello.
Can I come in for a shit?" Then what are you supposed to say to your door?
This doesn't.
What are you supposed to say?
Could you get your toilet clean enough?
Whatever.
But doesn't now this could be a rumor, but it's a good rumor, so I'm going to say it anyway.
Go for it.
Doesn't Prince Charles travel with his own toilet seat?
I thought you were going to say, does Prince Charles make a habit of shitting in other people's
Yeah.
houses?
I heard he has
I
a-
believe that could be true.
I
but
heard-
I've
and
never
he fits
heard-
it over the top of
I've
our
heard he
toilet
has
seat?
a vellum covered.
Yeah, I've never
toilet seat.
heard that, but I can believe it's true.
I'm sure that's full of
Anyway,
bacteria.
so the last one I wanted to bring up, and this is the one that kind of like I found amazing, is way up in Scotland, and I think it's called the Duke of Atholl.
Oh,
I may have got this
Sounds
wrong.
like something out of Game of Thrones.
But basically, like, it's kind of amazing. Due to some weird quirk of like medieval law, this random duke up in Scotland is the only person on the planet who is allowed to have a private army.
What?
oh.
As in, literally, like, at some point, some ancient king or queen, probably while pissed or dying of gout, was like, oh, the Duke of Atholl, yeah, you can have your own army. Go for it.
Nice.
So, way up in Scotland, this is not a joke. He's got a castle and everything. There is a dude who is like, I have an army.
And he actually does.
He
to this
has an
day.
army. So, and it's not a big army. Like, it's not like, you know,
How-
But surely
how
he's
big an
just
army are we
he's
talking?
maintaining an army of chaps.
yeah.
Let's say.
So it's basically like all the dudes from like the local village are
Are in
like,
his army.
we are the army.
But they
you
just
know.
live their normal lives.
Yeah, but they're you know,
I
they-
reckon you could take that village over.
They could probably take the village. What I'm
Yeah.
saying, but I mean, like, but the really interesting thing is that, like,
I love this.
When this is true. This is all true. When the previous Duke of Atholl died in like the 1970s or something, he never had a kid.
Oh.
But the dukedom is hungry. The dukedom is
Oh,
like
always.
it doesn't. I need a child to become the new duke.
I need a host.
I need a host. So the dukedom fled back up the family tree. And this is how it goes. It goes up and then it comes down
back
until
down.
it finds another
branch.
male heir. Because
Sure.
this is the weirdness of it. And there was a random cousin
Right.
who lived in South Africa
Okay.
who, again, it's like you know, your great uncle was related to like the Duke of Atholl. So you are the new Duke of Atholl.
Did he have to move there?
No, he goes there once a year.
Brilliant.
This is amazing. Like, this is all true. Like, so he's there in full, like, he's wearing like a beret, he's got a kilt, he's got like a sash, he's got a sword, it's all this stuff. He's like, once a year, I have to come here. I don't manage the estate. There's a whole team that looks after the castle and everything. Once a year, I turn up and I oversee the Highland Games that happen where my army will march in front of me. And I get to bow and nod. And I bring my wife along. You know,
She loves it.
And it's
All
like,
expenses
It's like
paid.
Keith and Deirdre. He's like, yes, this is very unusual, but you know, it's nice to continue this heritage. You know, and I'm very honoured. You know, and it's just like this random South
And then we
African
go, and then
guy.
it's like, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
You know,
Go back on my plane.
and it's like, and they do like, they had all this footage of like all these guys in kilts, like running like a race, like doing a foot race around a field. And as they go past him, because he's like the king, they have to salute while they're running. And it's like,
Mad.
and he has a private army,
Yeah.
like and there's like 17 people in the army, but it's an army. Like, it's the only guy in the world.
That's pretty cool.
That
It's
is-
kind of cool. It's also batshit insane.
Yeah.
But
I like that.
yeah,
I like quirks like that.
Yeah.
it's like I swear he's like the Duke of Athol.
Yeah.
Or something like
Asshole.
that.
Duke of
Asshole.
Asshole.
Yeah, the
The
Duke of Asshole. You can look it up. Yeah,
I love
Yeah.
that place.
that's my love. Weird shit like
It's
that.
very good.
Well, my love is similarly highbrow.
Oh,
well,
check you
I'd
guys
expect
out.
nothing less.
I love that I've worked out the timer function on my mobile phone camera.
On your camera.
Yeah.
Very,
So,
very high, bro.
so I've been, despite the best efforts of National Express, I have taken some trips lately. One of them was my mini moon,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
indeed. Yeah.
and Liz and I stayed in a very nice room, and we said, "Oh, wouldn't it be fun if we could take a photo of ourselves on the shelves, or essentially?"
Wait,
it was like
you
a
on the
windowsill.
shelves?
Yeah, so we were in like an old tunnel, a railway sort of tunnel. It was our
Oh.
room. It's cool.
That's cool.
And then there was some ledges cut out of the wall, so they're cut into the wall basically.
Wow.
So we sat on them, and Liz sat on one. I said, "Oh, maybe I'll sit on that one, and let's see if we can take a picture."
Yeah.
And it's like, "You'll never be able to take a picture."
It's impossible.
I'll say that. Oh, well, we'll see about
People
that.
have failed trying to do this.
Don't
People
even
have died.
try. Just
Yeah.
give up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I lent the camera. I set up a very intricate system that involved a chair, some bog roll, and various other things.
Yeah.
To set up the camera in an appropriate position.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I worked out how to use the timer on my phone.
Well done.
Thank you.
How long do you
so
have
much.
that phone?
Oh, I don't think that's important. And then I worked a 10-second countdown, in which time I had to jump on the bed and jump from the bed onto the ledge
Right.
and sit down
Wow.
like it was just like I just was sitting
Like you've
there.
just been there the whole time.
Like I've been there the whole time. And we
you
got
have-
the picture.
Could you have set a longer timer and then you wouldn't have had
No,
to,
that's the
like-
maximum.
Oh.
That's the maximum.
yeah, it's quite often the case.
I also took another picture because I went on a walking holiday with the dog.
You're
did.
drunk with power
last
now.
week. Yeah, it was very much
And
so.
alcohol.
If I hadn't taken that original photo, I never would have tried this.
No.
And I lent it on the sort of cornerstone rock on the top of this hill,
Right.
which is probably sacred or something.
Probably.
And I used my bag on top of it, and I lent my phone on the bag. And I was like,
Very
right, 10
complicated.
seconds. So I had to round up the dog and myself, get in front of the lovely view,
And your phone got
and get a photo. And my phone, well,
And
yeah.
a crow.
That was that would have been better. There are some outtakes when the phone fell off the rock, and it just like you can just see a blur. But I did get it eventually, and it's a great picture.
That's awesome.
So that's good.
I
Yeah.
feel I may have seen that photo on your
Yeah, it's the one-
Instagram.
But Facebook and Instagram.
Or
Facebook
Daisy.
and
It's the
Instagram,
one where
yeah.
you've got the cliffs in the background and we're sort of in the foreground ish.
Yeah.
Bottom.
I assumed someone had taken that photo.
Well, there we
on.
are.
Yeah,
There
look,
we go.
see.
That's how good
there
it
you
was.
go.
Yeah.
That's how good it was.
That's how good it was.
That's true mastery of the timer function. If
Yeah.
you can convince someone that it's not actually on timer and that someone else has taken the
no.
picture.
Yeah, it was lent on a rock.
I honestly can't remember anymore, but I swear I had a phone at one point that had a function on the camera
Oh yeah.
where you could raise your hand.
I remember you having this.
and you
actually,
kept
yeah.
trying to do it.
Yeah.
And it never worked.
Yeah,
and-
it was dog shit.
And I swear I swear I didn't just read about it. I swear it like you'd raise your hand and then it would go aha, and then that would trigger the timer.
Which is a great idea for a function, but whenever
Hand.
you did, you would always do this. You'd set your camera up, and then you'd be putting your hand up.
Well, why
like,
wouldn't you press
how
the
to.
button and just do the timer?
Well, because like you've got to get into position and everything.
but then you have a timer.
Yeah,
but
I guess like you had to like act natural.
Yeah.
John could take ages over acting natural, which he does.
I do. Yeah,
It's very much
takes a
30,
lot.
34 years.
Yeah, still not got there.
Getting better every year.
And then raise your hand and
Yeah,
check out
raise your
natural
hand.
I look.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got 2 good photos out of that in the last few weeks, and I intend to do more.
I was going to
Wow.
say, do you plan to do some more?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know what yet,
Good.
but I'll figure it out. The only downside is that I forgot to turn it off, and then every time I took a photo, it was like just standing there for 10 seconds.
What kind of phone do you have?
I have a Huawei.
Oh, you have a Huawei.
Huawei.
I have a Huawei.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, that's fine.
That's fine. It's
Does
fine,
it
isn't
does it creepily shout at you if you ever cover the camera?
What?
No, I'll tell you what it has been doing recently.
Wait. What?
We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
What it has been doing recently is, so I'd say I will usually obviously hold it in a portrait mode, and if I'm taking a picture, switch it to landscape.
Yes, indeed.
Most people do that.
That's fine.
So recently, I've been starting with the camera on portrait and turning it round, and the screen's been going black.
Okay.
It's just been going completely blank when I turn it to landscape.
Okay.
And I was with an event with Liz at the weekend, and I said, "Oh, I'll take some pictures," because it was a work thing for her. So I said, "I'll take some pictures so you can send it to your work or
Yeah,
your
yeah,
Reddit,
yeah,
whatever." And I was like, "Oh," and I said to her, "Oh, it's done this loads recently. Whenever I turn it on, onto landscape, it just goes black." And I showed her what I was doing, and she was like, "You what? What the hell are you talking about? It's fine." I was like, "No, it's going black. Look." And then she was like, "No, it's not."
What?
What is happening?
And apparently,
What?
it's because I'm wearing sunglasses.
Oh, it's polarized.
It's polarized, which I never knew before
What?
the weekend. So I gave Liz my sunglasses and I showed her again. She was like, "That's so weird."
Oh my god.
So whenever I turn my phone to landscape when I'm wearing sunglasses, I can't see it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
God, that's weird.
Yeah, because you change the polarization when you turn it sideways, so then it becomes invisible. As a lot of phones have polarized
Yeah.
screens.
I did
yeah.
not know that.
So that's been a weird thing. I've learned so much about my phone this last month.
That's incredible.
Anyway,
well,
your phone
my-
screams at you.
My
so-
weird thing is that I've had this phone a few years now. It is actually shit now. Like it's dying.
Very
like
old.
I've had it too long.
Bless
it's
it.
dying. It's cracked. It's broken. It's dying. But yeah, it has a camera on the front and a camera on the back,
As they all do.
and it's kind of weird because if you cover, like sometimes I try to grab my phone and I like maybe I listen to music or it's just playing a podcast in the background. I try to pick it up. If my hand strays over the camera,
the front-facing camera.
the entire phone locks, and I get a screen that says, "Do not cover the camera,"
Oh my goodness.
because it
That's
says
very aggressive.
because it goes like, "Oh yeah, don't cover the camera, otherwise we can't offer you all the great features this phone offers."
Like spying on you.
And I'm like, well, I'm like, what? And he goes, "You can disable this function by pressing the volume up and the power button." I'm like, okay, well, I'll press those. It's like, well, no, that just temporarily turns it off.
So it'll happen again
Yeah.
next time.
So like sometimes like I'm brushing my teeth and I might have some music playing or a podcast and it's resting on the shelf in the bathroom. And if the mirror, the like literally the lip of the mirror is too far over the camera, it goes, "Hey, don't cover the camera, dickhead. I thought we told you."
Yeah.
That's a bit creepy.
And it's a little creepy.
They're
isn't it?
Suggests that
Yeah.
it's trying to watch you all the time.
Yeah.
They're after you.
And it's seen some things.
Oh, it seems.
Yeah,
I'm
oh
sure
yeah,
it
it's
has.
seen some
Yeah.
things. Yeah,
I'll bet.
yeah. But it's weird that.
Oh, it is.
weird.
That is weird.
Maybe
Maybe it's
get-
just you.
Maybe get a new phone.
I need a new phone,
I
and I
would.
don't think I'll be going Huawei again.
No, and I think this is a good reason
Yeah.
for getting a new phone.
Kind of
I
mostly
try
for that
to change
reason.
brand every time I get a new phone. Although I've never had an
Ah.
iPhone.
That's quite a good idea.
I've never had an
Never had
iPhone.
an
No,
iPhone. But I try to.
I'm a little bit of a luddite when it comes to this technology and stuff. Like
Didn't want to say anything.
I don't want a fully integrated. It reads your blood. Like I would rather have a smart, stupid phone. I don't want like the all-seeing, all-dancing one.
Thing is, the phone that you're describing that you currently have kind of sounds like that.
yeah, but it's
If
also
trying to watch you.
but
through
it's
the
also
camera all the
it's
time.
also kind of shit. Like it doesn't
Okay.
have any of this other stuff.
It takes
like,
coal nuggets.
Yeah,
I always go
Yes.
into a phone shop planning to downgrade, and I never do.
yeah.
I always
Never.
come out with a better phone.
Yeah, you can't help it.
I go into the thing is I'm hearing a lot about how good the cameras are on these new generation phones.
Yes.
You know, if
Oh,
you-
yeah, for sure.
If you want to be filming shit, that's quite the deal.
I take a lot of photos of my dog.
Yes, indeed.
We know.
By which I mean my dog.
We do know. Yeah, we've seen.
Not
yeah.
my penis.
No,
Dog.
dog,
Okay,
Dog.
wink.
So
Lol.
she has a very popular Instagram account.
she does. More
So-
popular than any of our
Are we
accounts.
talking about your dog or your penis right now?
This is your penis.
I honestly can't remember.
She.
I don't think it's important.
It's a classy lady.
Yeah.
Well, on that wonderful note.
On that
Beautiful
sour note.
Maybe we should wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
Let's end this.
We've
So
well
what-
stayed our welcome.
What was that? Episode 91?
91.
Double figures,
Double,
guys.
finally double figures.
Nicely
yeah, it's
done.
amazing.
Nicely
yeah.
done.
Well done,
Uh,
everyone.
So yeah, I guess the big question is, what won? Hate or love?
Well,
Good. I just want to say, in the interest of fairness, a good offering from both teams this evening.
yes.
I feel we've had some good loves.
I think so.
and
I
we've had
think,
some good
I think the
hates.
reason I'm struggling is because they're tied in my head. But
Oh.
I've got an answer.
Yeah.
I've
I
got an
think
answer.
I have an answer as well.
I have an answer.
Should we say it all at once?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
hate?
Oh.
Didn't feel the room, John.
I chose light. I wanted to claw my way out of this little hate pit I've been in for 24 hours.
Well, tough. You're in it.
Okay, fine. So
Too
we're back in
late.
the hate. Yeah.
Get
Back in the
back
pit.
there.
Back in
Climb
the
back
hay.
in the pit.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
That's fine.
Tomorrow's a new year.
I mean,
I'm starting
The
day
night
as,
before you level up,
I'm about to regenerate.
we've gone
so-
Yeah.
we've gone full hate.
Shed your 34th skin.
Yeah.
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 Maybe this one will be better.
Yeah. And I just find it amazing that, like, a year ago, I got to celebrate my birthday under lockdown conditions, in the garden because we
gutter, I thought you were gonna say.
we couldn't go anywhere else, And it's nice to know that, after a year's difference,
We can punch you in the back
we're
of the head.
kind of
Yeah.
still in the same place.
Basically,
but,
yeah.
but
We're,
yeah.
we're going to a fancy restaurant.
Actually, no, yeah, you're
We're gonna
right.
eat in a place outside of our house.
We're going
Yeah.
to go to a restaurant.
we are.
We're going to
you know,
eat a food.
Local,
quite nice,
one of
yeah.
our, well, probably my favourite local restaurant.
It's probably the best local restaurant.
288 Bar and Walk, Cheltenham's best
Yeah,
restaurant.
let's shout out to Bar and Walk. Probably the best
What?
restaurant in Cheltenham.
I
would
think
say.
so.
Definitely one of them.
Yeah. Top,
Yeah.
top.
Some might be flashier.
But
Yeah.
this is old faithful. This is old
I think,
reliable.
I
Yeah.
think food to money to fun to poshness ratio.
Yes,
That's
yes,
true. I like that.
100%.
I like
yeah,
that.
That's the best.
100%. Yeah,
Big up,
100%.
big up 288.
It's been nearly 2 years, but I'm very excited
Yeah.
for this Bar and Walk experience.
Let's do it. Let's go now, actually.
Yes, let's go
We
now.
should go
Yeah, let's
now.
go
Let's
now.
go now. This will be a few guys taking their shirts off, walking
Yeah.
into town, and going to Bar and Walk. It'll be
Screaming
great.
at the top of our voices.
Hey, hey.
You know, maybe one of us has a trumpet.
Yeah.